and welcome back to the Metroball Grid. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. I just have to hit the right buttons, and then Pat will be able to say hello. Sup? Yo, Pat, what's good?
Hey everybody. Good to be here.
Seamless. First time ever.
Yeah.
How's everyone doing? It's been a big day of Netrunner. I've been watching Netrunner streams for some part of the afternoon. I reckon a lot of people have too.
I don't think I can do this. I just sat through like 4 hours of Netrunner stream.
Yeah, right. And sign me up for more. Everyone yells in chat. How's everyone doing? Game of Droids. What a fantastic day in Netrunner streaming. Team Covenant doing great stuff, and now this. Oh yeah, no, it was really fun. We'll talk about it more on the news. We're gonna be talking about it now. But Team Covenant did a Nisei stream, which I think they did a Nisei stream a long time ago when like Downfall or Uprising came out. Sort of citation needed, I think. But they played System Gateway on stream, and they seemed to have a really good time. But also like their review of it was pretty glowing. They
were really enthusiastic at the end.
Yeah,
like even telling people like this is a good priced product to get Gateway, and that's a good recommendation coming from people who can't profit off selling it.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Like that is a pretty good recommendation for sure. Chris Rock, hey, how's it going? Bloody Cactus also says busy working, missed the TC stream, gonna have to VOD it, I guess. Yeah, it's on YouTube. You check it out. It's a good time. I streamed like 4, maybe 5 games. I think 4 games. And Arca, how's it going? Fun stream to watch. Yo, Giles, what up? Happy Pat Day. How's it going? And Lamilla got some Pats here hype as well. Vincent, how's it going? I think I saw you in the TC stream as well. Yusengrin, how's it going? Baza, yo, what up? Happy Thursday. And also, hi, Pat. Solom says,
hi, everybody.
Hey, Joda. How's everyone doing? What a seamless stream launch. Yeah. Always good to see Bouncer Jingles. How's it going? Wait, lots of streams. What have I not been watching on my day off today? Yeah, Team Covenant, as we said, streamed earlier today. It was really good. Scrub, thoughts on the spicy deck? And it's like such a big deal because like this afternoon, there was like 400, 300 people watching Netrunner, which is a really, really big deal considering that doesn't happen until Worlds. Like that is a huge number of people watching this game. Yeah, Ixaron, what's up? Wayland, how's it going? Patty in the house. Hey. I fell asleep midstream. Did they find the booster pack? Yeah, Azix Macintosh, how's it going? They did something weird that I haven't seen before. They kind of went off the rails a bit. So they found the booster pack and they added 10 cards. And then after that, they played another game where they just played the starter like booster 40, 44 card decks, but they just swapped out the neutral IDs for like, what was it? Precision Design and Tau. So technically illegal, but also like really good fun. And I think they picked good ideas because those ideas are also fun to watch. At least Tau is more exciting to watch, but they don't require any
deck building.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they don't require deck building.
Yeah, like they couldn't have picked Lou because Lou, you don't have enough ability to trash cards, and
yeah, you really need the console for Wu to be good. Or Lou, I'm saying Wu, Lou. What do I think about this deck? This deck looks like a bit of a salad. Let me see.
It's got 6 influence spent.
6 influence spent. That's a really low number. You don't want to do that. You want to try and spend all your influences you can. And all we got is the 2 Lacosas. We have Economic Warfare for tempo. And that's generally not something people do. Generally, you'd be better off for a card that puts you ahead as opposed to put your opponent behind. Because if your opponent is really far ahead, it does nothing. And if you're really far behind, it does nothing. So that's generally not amazing. Wall to wall can be a bit.
On the other hand, it is. This is 23 ice.
It's a lot of ice.
It's a lot of ice. I think the ice can be toned down or swapped. Like I feel like you could put different ice in here as well. Bingo and stuff like that. Maybe.
So SSO wants to run advanceable ice, and the advanceable ice that this deck went with is, well, besides Colossus, is a lot of this like the constellation ice, like Nebula, Asteroid Belt, and Wormhole. And this stuff needs to really be triple advanced. Interestingly enough, this ice and Built to Last is kind of fascinating because every advancement is worth 4 credits or 5 credits, whatever, which is kind of fun.
That is interesting.
At least the first advancement. And if you res this at like 6 or whatever, it's not the worst. But that being said, some of the better advanceable ice is ice that actually, not that you res cheaper, but gets stronger. Things like Horde and Mouseless are kind of staples. Miss Fingo is a staple. Stuff like that is outside of this list. There's not a really good reason to run Battlement. Also, 3 Orion is a bit iffy because it's a unique ice, so your other copies are actually unresable unless you want to trash original Orions. So this is a bit strange. I don't see how it's going to win. It's trying to like slow Lacosta, and it doesn't have any defensive plan. So if you can just break ice, you'll win the game. And cards like Wormhole, Colossus, and Nebula, like these are actually particularly bad in the standard format. Well, they're just not well positioned right now because they're really weak to things like Botulus, Boomerang, and all that stuff sees a lot of play. So
yeah, any ice that has single subroutines really fails against Botulus.
Yeah. The only also like it's important to know, and this is what a lot of people say when they evaluate Netrunner decks, is that this deck looks like it's playing fair Netrunner. Like the idea is that this deck says I have ice and I'm gonna put agendas behind it and score it. You also don't have a lot of other stuff to score behind agendas behind ice, and it's worth knowing that majority of your agendas are face up, so the opponent is going to know when they need to run and when they're not going to run. There's no like NGO traps. Basically anything advanceable they have to run, and of course they don't know that, but when you install your agendas face up, so this is just fair Netrunner, like no defensive upgrades. You're just saying I hope you don't have enough money to get through my ice, and against a lot of good decks that's just not going to be true. It really isn't going to be true. So you have to do something like wildly unfair for that to be possible.
Yeah. Also doesn't have mass commercialization.
Yeah, mass comm is just crazy.
Which is fine, because I don't like that card. But
a lot of people don't. Right now, there's a built to last deck that seems like it's kind of a problem. Also, like SSO Industries, it's only good if you have a face-up agenda, and specifically a 3-point agenda face-up. So CityWorks Project is the only face-up 3-point agenda that is in the format right now. So a lot of times this sort of deck wants something like digital rights management to be able to consistently have that agenda in the early game, so you can install it comfortably behind a piece of ice and then get the advancements. Because getting two advancements on anything with Oaktown renovation kind of feels bad, because then you have to, I guess you just res things for 3. And new construction also doesn't work with the deck in the slightest. You'd be better off with Atlas or even the new 3-2. Anyways, that's my thoughts. That's probably a great move. Yo, Macintosh, if you're talking about playing the base things with an ID to make it more interesting, I do think it actually is a great move, and it worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
It is a good day for Netrunner, going from one stream to another, cutting cube proxies. Ooh, what's your cube like? Hey, Jinteki.
That's cool.
This is the decklist of the week. Yeah, no, we haven't done draft in a really long time. Draft is a lot of fun. And this is something that came up before. And Pat, we maybe want to do another stream for this, because somebody asked about this on the Team Covenant stream. They were like, hey, it'd be cool if Netrunner had something like, and maybe for those who are new to Netrunner, you don't know about this. If Netrunner had something similar to Keyforge, where you don't have to do any deck building and you just like can have a deck that's automatically generated. And there is. Go to Jinteki.fun, which is
right.
The big boy Abram Jobs, right? Mirror of Jinteki, and it has this format called, I think it's called not Startup, Jumpstart. And it's Jumpstart, and it basically gives you decks of pre-made things that follow an algorithm that they've written, and they're not any of the new cards. I also don't think they're any Nisei cards. There's some of the old cards in Netrunner, but they've been retuned and balanced so that all the cards are a bit more playable, and the stuff that was a bit above the power curve is brought down. Like the card pool itself is really cool, but the fact that you can just like, my brother and I played a lot of this last year because it would be so easy, and he used to play Netrunner but hasn't in a long time. You don't have to do any deck building. You just say, let's boot it up, and then you're given a cool thing to figure out how to play. It's really cool. It's Jinteki.fun. This is actually like, that's super underrated, especially for a new player experience. Or not new player, like not as in learn the game, but if you want to get into some quick Netrunner games, it's a really nice way as well. Is this deck lead of the week due to a Reddit post about someone's friend running this? There's something asking for help against SSO. I don't actually know. The deck list of the week right now is a Naptime Reina deck, which is actually a startup deck, which is going to give us some problems. Wayland says almost always you want to use your full influence limit. Yes, almost always, because your influence is there to help you import things that your identity or your faction is generally not good at. So if we say like Wayland is not good at having defensive upgrades and remotes, you could spend 8 influence on Anoetic Voids. Like that's the idea. Basically every agenda is public, so you can remote lock, throw in a lucky charm to avoid border control, and you just win. Yeah, it was. Shanks says boo Keyforge. Keyforge is okay. I've been enjoying Keyforge. I play very casually, so. Ixarin says I have a dodgy list on Meteor, but the meat space version should be up and running soon. Going for vanilla limited, blank IDs, reasonable power level. Oh, for the cube. Oh, heck yeah.
Neat. Yeah.
That's really cool. Anywho, Pat, this is a deck. Let's talk about this. So tonight we're going to do the deck list of the week as we do, and then we're going to be doing some deck building, and we'll talk about that when we get to it, but we're going to be playing some Architects of Tomorrow, which I don't think I've played in a year or so. When's the last time you played Architects, dude?
I played a lot of it when it first came out, but not a lot since then.
Okay. We have some good bioroids. I think it's a pretty big excitement. Braun and Uncell are like really good. Xron says, actually curious if you have any opinions, things to try and fit, things to try and avoid. If you mean in case of in terms of the draft, because I've never made a cube, I honestly don't know what it would take. And I know that there's articles about how to make good cubes and stuff like that. Trying to get as close to singleton as possible while maintaining the proper econ ratios and such. Yeah, I think if you're making a draft cube, like you definitely want to respect ratios to an extent. That seems important. But singletons honestly might not be the best because it makes it really hard for you to build synergy. Right? Like as soon as you have only singletons, like you can't build a stealth deck. It's like really hard to build a fast advanced deck. It also messes up some of the combos that are sometimes fun in cubes, like drafting 5 medical breakthroughs or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
medical break. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That kind of thing can be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I don't know, but maybe there's some benefit in that it feels more like a commander format in Magic or whatever. Giles, you're on the money there. McCallman, how's it going? Okay, this is an Italian startup deck, came first at a GNK. There's some really cool things to be shouting out here. Firstly, startup as a format, I'm a big fan of. I think the next tournament we're going to run is going to be a startup format. And startup is a format that Nisei has put together that is basically just the Nisei cards, barring the Magnum Opus reprints. And I think it's a really good selection of cards. I think there's a lot of flexibility in it. Most of the cards feel really good. I think some of the slightly very powerful cards that people might be a bit frustrated playing against, the sort of like pseudo negative play experience cards, are not in the format. So you don't have to worry about things like mass comms, diversion of funds. Like there's all the hard-hitting news. Like there's all the boom. There's like very little meat damage out of tags, like exchange of information. All the cards that are like, if you understand what I mean, like the power level is lower, which means you can play a lot weirder stuff, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now that being said, if we boot up onto JNet and we play a startup deck against standard decks, most of the, not that we're necessarily going to get crushed, it's just that our options to economy is much more limited. We might not have as strong as a deck. Like the power level of standard is lower than startup. That being said, I still think you can make a startup legal deck that is good enough against most standard decks. Now, this is Reina Roja, who has a link and has an economic pressure identity. And economic pressure identity, I think, will be a bit stronger in startup, where the economy is more limited just because you have a smaller card pool. So we'll see how that goes. We have a single link, and she says the first piece of ice the corp reses each turn costs 1 credit more to res. Now you combine that with things like Xanadu, which we have 2 copies to ensure that we get one sooner. That's quite nice. And then we have Tread Lightly as a 1-of. For 1 influence, it's a really strong card, let alone in Reina gets even more gross. And then I think the only other trick we have here is Tranquilizer, which comes with the cookbook package. But we do have some D-res, and there's some actually really cheeky D-res. Shit, I forget who wrote the comment on YouTube. Oh, I thought I would remember. But one of the cool tricks of Tranquilizer to make it a lot faster, and I haven't seen anyone do this, even in those max decks, I guess they don't need to a lot of times, is that when the corp ends their turn, you simul-chip out a Tranquilizer.
Yes.
That's so cool. Yeah.
It comes in with two counters, and then immediately on your turn beginning, you get an extra counter. That's great.
Yeah, that's super nice. I'm a big fan of that for a bit more aggressive D-res package. Here, let me just catch it up in chat. Is Carnivore Sing play? Yeah, Esengrin. We'll talk about that in a second. That seems really weird. The other format that got brought up similar to Keyforge was Frankfurt. Yeah, that got brought up. I'm not very familiar with Frankfurt 40 or whatever it's called. Yo, Warwick. Yeah, we might try and play startup format. I just don't know how long it'll take for somebody to like walk into the lobby. Startup, yo, how's it going? D'Artagnan. Startup has been a lot of fun, been getting back into Netrunner after a long hiatus, and Startup has really helped to shake the rust off. It's a really good starting point, and I think for a lot of people, it'll be a very comfortable end point too. Like it's a very like complete format, which is great. My favorite night shift. Matthew, how's it going? Is 3x Carnivore right? I think 2 is probably fine. I think you might be right. 3x Nihilist seems like a lot. I agree with that as well. Sangren says I'm actually relatively high on Carnivore. I don't think it's as bad as people think. Yeah, okay, so let's talk about this. This is Carnivore. And it's the console for Anarch that came out in System Gateway. And it's a really good console in System Gateway because System Gateway specifically doesn't have access to Imp. And this ability is very powerful when combined with Lu. Because Lu says the first time a turn you trash a card, you draw a card and gain a credit. So the opportunity cost of throwing out 2 cards is not too bad when you replace it with a single card. Now, we're basically building our own Lu because we have DreamNet. And this actually is a really cool combination I haven't thought of. The idea is that you can kind of basically, every time you run the first run of turn, you get a card. So you basically get that built-in Lu. And you also have more cards in hand so you can make a more intelligent Carnivore decision as opposed to getting the new card after you've trashed. And that's honestly kind of nice and makes it a lot more playable. So that's kind of cool. Whether you need 2 or 3 in your deck, that's a bit different. We might not have any MU problems. We actually have very few icebreakers, and that scares me a lot because we're relying on Botulus for the early game. If Protor,
And the thing is, we don't like it's not 5 MU is not a lot considering we're going to be relying on Tranquilizer and Botulus. Mayfly costs 2 MU if we ever need an emergency breaker. Like I don't know if we have the space for this.
Yeah, no, it's going to be tricky. It definitely is going to be tricky. I think there's some things here. Like it's very hard to play an Anarch deck that only runs 1 of each breaker because you can't tutor them in any meaningful way. So we have to go like pretty hard on Botulus. So if we run against like any of the tech that's pretty, and that's also a really big deal, is a lot of the tech that's good against Botulus, things like Macrophage, CVS, that stuff isn't in Startup. The worst you have in Startup is Magnet and Cyberdeck's Sandbox, the agenda. So like you get it a bit farther in Startup than that. So that's interesting. Another interesting thing about this deck, it has 3 copies of the Nihilist, and Nihilist puts viruses on the Nihilist whenever you install a virus. It puts virus counters, and when your turn begins, you may remove any 2 virus counters from your installed card to give the corp a choice. Either you draw 2 or you trash the top card of R&D. And I'm a bit apprehensive about this card in the list just because at best we have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. If we install every single virus in our deck and we simulchip everything, we only get 10 triggers of the Nihilist. Unless we want to use the Nihilist and pull virus counters off Fermenter, which sounds pretty bad, admittedly, because those are worth money. Botulus, which in some cases is okay if it's like chilling for a while, and Tranquilizer. And Tranquilizer also, the extra virus counters on Tranquilizer are pretty easy to take them off unless you want to move the Tranquilizer around.
That's a good point.
So that's not amazing to me. Like I feel like 3 of in this, and we also can't count on this as a draw card. So having 3 of a card that I don't think works as well with our deck and also isn't consistent for draw. I don't know if I'd play the Nihilist in this list, but I'm excited to see how it goes. Also, we don't have a lot of econ. Like the econ in this deck is super, super light. Like we have 2 only casts. We have 3 liberated. We have Paladin Puemo. We have no overclock, which might not be necessary. We have 2 career fair, which is nice because we have a lot of resources and expensive ones, and 3 gamble. Like we have no Wildcat Strike. The fact that we're playing Carnivore means we can't play Keiko, and Keiko plus Puemo is 2 credits a turn. Like it's an absurd amount of money. We have no Rizeki because our MU is a bit full. Like there's not a lot of economy in this deck. So I'm interested to see how it goes. Most of our economy is actually Fermenter, which like we need to get an early cookbook for that to be good. Here, let me just catch up in chat. Daojin says Keiko and Paladin Startup is just plain amazing. It's amazing in any format. It's really, really strong.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I can't look at that art without seeing the jigsaw lines. Extern also says Singleton Netrunner is hard. I think something like fast events can kind of work since you don't have to worry about influence, but stealth probably can't. Not enough pieces. Yeah, I know. And some people like a draft because then it rewards that sort of deck building where they can see the format. Hey, yo, Australia dude, I reckon. I've only played Startup and I find games pretty quickly. Okay, sick. Let's see how good this is. Let's catch up. I'm not married to Singleton, but I have 2x MTG cubes, and Singleton really aids hidden information predictability. Okay, cool. Warwick says, I think Talasson's stats showed Startup as popular standard these last few months. Yo, Talasson showed me some of his stats that they've been pulling up off of JNet, and we saw some really cool stuff. Win rate over time is pretty interesting. Basically, the distribution that I've seen is that Corp win rate is about 60% until about turn 15, and then the runner win rate actually exceeds it, which is, I think, what people would expect. That's kind of cool to see. I think the Nihilist is there to use excess counters. Yeah, I think so, Eons. I'm assuming that's what we do. Verbal plasticity is the best. Sorry?
Well, it's like you make a good point that like the extra counters on Tranquilizer don't matter. They're just going to be purged eventually, so you might as well Nihilist them.
Yeah, they don't actually do anything. Diogene says verbal plasticity is the best for draw. I don't like that card. I'd rather run Earthrise Hotel over that. I'd rather run a third Earthrise than verbal. I'm not a big fan of verbal. Expect to take several turns to beat up clicking to draw. Yeah. Mystic Miami is also surprisingly good in Startup, especially with Wildcat Strike, gain 6 or... Yeah, no, there's a lot of good events you want to play. Okay, but let's pull this in. Oh, I don't need to do this. Let's give this a shot. So we're going to play Startup, Pat.
All right, I can't wait.
You and I have both been playing Startup casually, and it's...
Yeah, we have. We were just talking about that. And I think we're both playing the same ID largely, right?
Yeah.
Like we're both playing Earth Station, maybe different flavors, but...
My Startup Station only has a 40% win rate.
Oh, let me see mine.
Yeah, this is my Earth Station Startup deck. It has like 2 seamless launch, sprint, Managarm. I've reduced service. I've Engram.
Reduced service.
Single spin doctor, which is maybe a mistake. But it's just jamming agendas. It's not. I don't think it's anything special. I cut the Lacostas.
Okay. You cut the Lacostas. I have 56%. I also only have one Spin Doctor, but I might remove it because it's just so hard to fit into that one server sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Runner. The review of verbal plasticity does a great job of showing how good it is. What do you mean, Dejin? Whoa, you know Seth Rogen? I don't know that. What does that mean? How's it going, Dragon Friend?
Yeah, I was basically calling Andre a noob there. You know, just get good. Like
get good. I've been playing mostly. Sorry.
Did you set the format to startup when you made the game?
No.
Okay.
I thought I did. I didn't. Ah, no, this is wrong too. Sorry, JNet servers. We'll get there. Runner. I have to hit this button. There we go. Okay, cool. The person did the math. Uh-oh. It's a great review.
Oh, in Netrunner DB, I see.
What's the review for it? Netrunner DB verbal plasticity. The weird thing for me with startup is Shaper doesn't really feel the same as it used to, though I put together a lat deck that one night and been having a lot of fun. Yeah, Shaper is definitely a lot different in what's it called, in Gateway than it is normally. They actually have like a more, like Shaper is more in system gateway. It's not about that sort of like Shaper bullshit, as people call it. The idea of like installing things mid-run, having really wild tricks. Shaper and gateway is more about planning and thoughtfulness. It's more about planning your whole turn, planning your next turn, setting up your creative commission and VRcation, stuff like that. It's about hitting your timing so you always have telework contract. Like it's cool. It's more control, it's more thoughtful, but it's definitely not self-modifying code simul-chip.
That's a great point. And I'm already like kind of dreading or wondering what's going to happen to Shaper when startup leaves self-modifying code and simul-chip behind. When we lose those instant installs.
But SMC is ashes. It's not going to happen.
Well, no, eventually startup will leave them behind.
Oh yeah, but in a long time,
because,
right?
Oh, maybe like, I don't know, whenever the new set comes out, 9 months to a year, we don't know.
But is startup only meant to be the last set?
Yeah, start. I don't think startup is just Nisei stuff. I think startup is the latest Nisei set plus system update plus system gateway.
I didn't realize that. Hey, we got a game. Bad TCG player. Meth. Ooh, PE. Okay.
Right, what do we got here?
PE is a bit difficult because we can't aggressively run without a killer. What are the things that we have to worry about is PE? There's Sting, there's Snare, there's no Obokata, there's Neurospike. We don't have Stargate, which is like wild. Like that's actually one of the bigger problems I think with this deck that we haven't pointed out. Oh, and there's two things we haven't pointed out. Firstly, I think they said specifically Stargate would be good, but one of my favorite things by far about this list is they posted the replays of their GNK, which is so cool. You can open these and it's a Jinteki.net replay, so you can see their game versus their opponents, and that is, I think, the coolest thing I've seen attached to a deck list. But we have no multi-access besides one Dawkins Pass and 2 Jailbreak, and that I think is probably the biggest problem with this deck.
Yeah. Interesting.
So we have...
I don't...
The best card in our hand right now is Paladin Puemo. With Carnivore, we could like trash complete images for free, but you don't want to throw cards out. You could trash Neurospikes. This hand doesn't look amazing.
No, I don't like this. I'd rather find a career fair or a sure gamble or something.
DreamNet's really good against the damage matchup. And we have an early cookbook, which is kind of nice. Ite does code gates. We don't actually have a killer. This is going to be a problem. Hopefully their economy sucks and they're not playing Hansei Review, and then we actually can put on some sort of Reina-esque pressure. But like we have to worry about Saisentan. Saisentan can be lethal out of nowhere. And also this format doesn't have I've Had Worse.
Yeah. In fact, I think like in general, Nisei's approach to damage prevention is draw more rather than prevent damage or stuff like that. Okay. So
DreamNet Run HQ?
DreamNet Run.
Okay. They kept their hand. We're going to find a snare real fast. Cerebral Overrider. Damn good. Yeah. So we know what kind of deck they are.
Yeah, already I wish we were Lulu.
It's Off-World Office. Feels good. We lost a cookbook. Can't get punitived. If we go back one more, we can we can lose this to snare and go down to one hand, and we actually could get punitive. So I'm just gonna click for credit, I think, right?
Yeah, sure.
Gachapon will lose too many cards from our deck. I don't know if we can play it. They don't look like a grind matchup. They look like a kill matchup, like a burst matchup. The sort of deck I was playing on stream last week that might have things like what's it called? A Clearinghouse and Urtica Cipher. Ian says turn 1 Siphon Time Flatline so good. It really is. Pat, we running this, right?
Yeah, we are. I mean, yeah, there's nothing in our hand that's integral to our game. So.
No, but we'll DreamNet a card
Well,
first.
the Yute would have been okay.
Sick.
It's 2 damage. Yeah.
Yeah. So the more of these we steal, the worse it is for us.
Yeah.
I'm just going to HQ. They don't have money.
Might as well.
Trickle Light, good to know. So the problem is like Engram Flushes in the format, and resing Engram Flush for 3 is not a big deal for them. Oh, Carnivore, yeah, that's something.
Okay.
Okay. 3 points. Just run everything.
I feel like we should install the Yute at some point because Engram Flush will be an issue.
But you break Engram Flush for 6 credits.
Oh, is that the breakdown of Yute?
Yeah, it's bad.
I haven't played it in a while.
Break X Kogate subroutines, uses ability once per run. Yeah. Yeah, it's really bad. We could do credit Carnivore run HQ. I like it.
Do you?
Oh yeah, I do.
We really don't. You really don't want to make any money here.
No, why do we need money?
Yeah, that's a great point.
We don't need money. We just need accesses. I'm doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. We don't want this. We don't need 2 of those. Look, that's a win con. No, but we're gonna have to click for credits. That's fine. Okay. I just realized I think there's a stain on my shirt. There's like an oil stain right here. That's professional.
Oh, weird.
Okay, so this can do 4 damage.
We can survive that thanks to DreamNet, right?
Yeah, the worst case, like by a mile, is Cerebral Overrider.
Yeah.
We run it, right?
We can just let. Sure. Except, I mean, I feel like if it's a trap, which it likely is, it won't cost them anything. It'll cost us a lot. Whereas,
I'm just gonna run everything, man. It's P.
All right, run everything. Yeah.
So sad about that Overrider. We'll find a new one. This is it, right? It's an NGO? No, there's no NGO open standard. It's an Urtica. That's fine. So Sure Gamble UT liberated account 7. We lost a simul chip. So we're not going to trash it. So there's no, there's the only thing that could kill us is technically complete image. There is no neural. And we know that with Trickle Light, they could use this as a Trickle Light bank, and they can score stings out of nowhere now if we don't trash this. So we might actually wanted to click for a credit just to trash this thing. Assuming they have another Trickle Light in hand, like they actually can do 3 damage. So we have to draw 3 times here. A snare would have sucked there? Yeah, but you can't advance snare. It can't be snare. That was an Urtica, which is this thing. Yeah, there you go. They had 2 Trickle Lights, which isn't a total surprise. We should have clicked for a credit once to trash it, because we're moving the bank there.
Yeah, I wish we had money. That's weird.
Oh, it's just a House of Knives. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Wish we had money. All right. Puemo is good because it lets us just like install things slowly, and there's going to be a lot of small agendas.
Yeah, but let's draw some more.
We run HQ, right? For DreamNet.
Sure.
I think House of Knives says what they want. Early when you ran, you went to 0, you would have ended with a tag. Oh, yeah, maybe. Oh, there you go. There's a snare. That's fine. We'll trash that. And they don't, if they click trash this, like we're totally fine. No, I'll just keep drawing. Or do you want to go and see the last card? What can kill us here?
I don't think anything. Well, would a sting kill us?
That's great. No, no, sting does 1 for PE, and then has many in the opponent's +1.
Okay.
Cup sting other place area +1. So it'd be 2 damage. Glad you like it. Do you want to check it or do you just want to draw?
I kind of just want to. Well, I want to maybe install Paladin here.
But we're tagged.
Oh, we're tagged. Yeah. Let's draw.
Okay. The coaster grid can drop advancement tokens onto Snare, or at least JNet allows it to, but otherwise, yeah, they're no advancing. Yeah, any card that doesn't care about what cards you're advancing, then it could be a BL. Oh, in theory, if they like House of Knived us, we could die if we ran, but then we have to just jack out.
True.
So they're back. They're not even on Snare money. So I think first click we run.
Sure.
So there's nothing that kills us, even if they House of Knives us here. Trick of Light. Yeah, we're trashing that, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we have to.
Okay. Andre's feeling aggro? Yeah, no, but usually that's how it works with these. With 3 credits, also, they can still res Engram Flush. Like, we can't. We are going to have to slow down here. And this is like a matchup where if we had Stargate, I think our win rate just absolutely skyrockets. Okay, we might clear the tag next turn.
One can only hope.
Yeah. Hedge Fund here would be rough for us. They're up to 5. Reina was the first runner I tried again after coming back. Every time I play her, I feel like I'm just broke the whole game. I'm not sure how to apply pressure with her with basically no resources. You have to run. So this can be Urtica Cypher for 2 damage. It can't be Rashida. I think we still run it. Oh, we lost Pat. Uh-oh. Oh, whoa.
No, wait, did we?
Hey, yeah, your webcam shut down. Give me 1 second. Let me check again.
Oh, shoot.
No, you're back. You're good. We see you. Except you're frozen, but we hear you. That's more important. This is Startup. Yeah, how's it going? And well, I'm running it. Pat can't stop me. No, we lost Pat again. So your image blocked out, but we can hear you.
Oh, that's so weird. I don't know what's going on. Let me see if I can fix anything on my end. Make sure I'm not downloading anything in the background.
Spin Doctor.
Fun.
Yeah, Manuel, right now the deck list of the week is a Startup deck. So our hand was forced in the situation. If we run HQ, we die to Snare. We didn't get our trigger on DreamNet yet. I'm going to draw once. Ooh, Fermenter actually would be really good. Let's hope we don't lose that.
Should I refresh OBS Ninja?
Yeah, maybe give me a new link. Here, I'm going to shut the camera down for a second. And then... It's wild that they're on off-world offices. I guess they need to play agendas. Has way prettier than a black rectangle? Hell yeah. Hit the Puemo. It's a celebrity gift. We could trash 2 cards to deny a celebrity gift. I think we want to make sure they don't have money. So we'll get rid of the gamble and the casts. And what could we possibly die to? They'd have to fast advance out a piece from hand. Or they would have to complete image and name Botulus. I'm going to take that risk. This might be the only econ card we need. Here, give me 1 second, y'all.
All right,
I'm just gonna, yeah, here, I'll just reset it. Give me 1 second. I need to do something behind the scenes. Oh, they trashed our DreamNet. That's our only weakness. Where are we at? Here. Give me 1 second. I need to go into... how do I do this? I need to go into studio mode. Edit this. Okay, I think we're back, man.
Am I back?
Yeah, looking good. Looking cute. Sounding cute.
Dead.
Okay, they're building up a remote. They realize our weakness is we have no breakers. Besides this in hand. We have a 4 credit for Mentor Pop. So we're just going to drop. But DreamNet was really, really good. They have a single card in hand. We don't know what it is. I'm not that excited to find out what it is. A Simulchip would actually be pretty good. And we now have enough. I think we're just going to click for credit here. And we are only 20 cards left, and we still have to steal a lot of points. And they're not going to be on any 3-pointers, I don't think. I don't think any 3-pointers make sense in the format. Jinteki doesn't have any 5-3s, do they? They might be on 4-3s.
Yeah, yeah, I guess there's the 4-3. There's, none of them really make sense here.
Install double advance. Okay, so what do we have access to? We have a Botulus.
Are there only two cookbooks in the deck?
There's 3.
No, there's 3. Okay.
Yeah. We've lost 2 of them, so there's one more in 19. But drawing heavily, it generally isn't the way. I think we draw once, Botulus and go, or if we top deck like a Mayfly. Hold on, I lost chat. We're back. We definitely draw once here, right? The thing is we don't have a killer.
Yeah, we draw once for sure.
Okay. I think we just strap a Botulus and go. Like, what's the worst?
I mean, if it is Urtica and they use House of Knives, it kills us.
Yeah, but if they use House of Knives, we can always jack out if we want to. Like, they have to spend a lot of money on this too. I'm gonna try it. Like, I don't know how to make a read on this. They iced it up. One, we didn't have breakers. It seems like they actually want to jam here, and their HQ makes them want to jam. No further action.
Interesting.
So we could die to Urtica because we don't have a DreamNet anymore. Oh, it's a clearinghouse. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we have to trash it this way. Okay. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Draw.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
Carnivore's been really good. And you don't have access. Sure. You don't have access to Imp plus what's it called in this format? You don't have a Friday Chip or an Obcurie. Rerunning HQ.
Do we want to pop Fermenter first in case there's something we want to trash?
Yeah, and I think we need to get down the other simul chip. It's just so good in this match. Like, or we only have to break 1 or 2 ice.
Yeah, so maybe draw, pop.
Yeah. Well, now we don't have to pop if we're not running. Yo, Kat, how's it going? What are you working on?
Hey.
I'm just gonna put this down. Makeup commercial. Ooh, nice. With people in it or like an animated thing? They might purge. If they purge, we're okay with that. They don't have CVS. Imp is part of system update. Yeah, Sebastian, it is. But like any of the things that refills Imp very aggressively, things like Knob Curie or Friday Chip, those aren't. No comment, NDA. Respect. Okay, so they're jamming in server 6, and consistently we've ran everything.
And they know this.
Yeah, this is the one we don't run, right?
Yeah, I think at this point they know what's up. They're like, oh, I know what'll get it.
So I think we popped Fermenter on HQ.
Yeah.
God, Fermenter's good. I think my issue with Reina is that I was playing her in the day of 3 account events. Yes. She was always rich and Corp always was. Yeah, that's a huge thing. Oh, do we trash this? I think we do.
I think we do. Yeah.
You don't need this. I don't think we need Tranquilizer. We need a draw because that could be a sting. We have to draw once more, I think. Rodin's also in the format. That is worth knowing. So if they continue to advance this, we're scared. But at least we can like pressure Neurospikes from hand. WWPD. Yeah, this is the thing that they're going to do, like what we were doing last week. They're just going to double advance things on the table, and we have to find the right ones. Man, I wish we had a DreamNet, but we have 2 in the bin, and we're running out of cards.
I'm not feeling good about either of them, either of those servers.
I'm doing server 7.
And yeah, those are both our DreamNets in the bin, by the way.
Yeah. Yagi Uda. Okay. We're getting there. 5 points. We're in game point. Now we just don't die to this. So if we run HQ too late in the turn, like we will hit a snare, and then they can kill us with like a clearinghouse or a Ronin. So we have to just like kind of drop a bit. Yeah, I don't feel like the Nihilist is going to do anything.
No.
Install a Fermenter? I just don't know how we're going to use our money. We don't need any money. Like, we're not spending money. We've spent literally like 5 credits all game.
But we might as well, right?
It's hit points.
Yeah, that's true.
It maybe is good to have something just so that we can simulchip if we need to. I feel like that's a better reason, right? Just because we need to trash something to use this. Okay, I'll do that. I don't know if we died to anything here. This is honestly hysterical because you're throwing out more of your own cards than you've lost the damage. I know. We're literally milling ourselves. Ooh, good thing we're tagged. Predict the planogram. Gain 3, draw 3. Metropole work, gang. Do you think great for econ generation, just for econ denial? It's not bad for econ generation, but yeah, it's not account siphon. It's way bigger for denial than it is for making money. Now we just have to, like, we know that they're on 3 Yagi Udas and probably 3 off-world offices, so I think we just slam centrals. And we don't have to run anything that's advanced as long as we keep like 4 cards in hand.
Sure.
Well, did they play 2 planograms? HQ must be ripe. That's incredible. You could chip out installed botchless? Yeah, we could. And they just gained a credit. I think we draw run HQ, right, Pat?
Well, why don't we ping the fermenter, then draw run HQ?
Because then we can
install the bot. I mean, sorry, click the fermenter, like trash the fermenter, so that when we run, we can install botulus and have gotten the benefit of fermenter, right?
But why do we need to install botulus?
Oh, because we're running HQ. Sorry.
Yeah, I think we just slam HQ. They just drew like 6 cards.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
I'll draw run HQ. Yeah, I don't think we ever need to run R&D. If they're not going to protect HQ, we trash that for sure because they can fast advance it. Get rid of that.
Sorry, Nihilist. Yep.
Yeah, we'll draw that, and we'll draw that, and just hopefully not die. There's no... Jinteki doesn't have any barriers in startup, do they?
Huh. Yeah, I guess not.
I don't think they have any barriers. This looks like a spin doctor.
Yeah, seems likely. So we can run it, force them to draw.
I'm just smashing HQ. They just drew way too much. But it's HP. You can install your botulus. Yeah, no, we don't need it. That's fine. There has to be an agenda here. Snare? Okay, and now we draw 2. We will trash that. We have 10 hit points left. We're going to install nothing else.
Man, I'm hoping that's an orbital superiority.
Oh, I didn't realize they advanced this to 3. Yo, orbital would be disgusting. You're right. Orbital into Neurospike? Take 6? That's kind of really cute.
Yeah, I'm just checking. Jinteki has no barriers in startup whatsoever.
Okay, good to know. So, like, what's the most splashable barrier? It's Gold Farmer, but that's way too much experience, right? So, Palisade?
Yeah, Palisade. Palisade makes sense.
They're drawing furiously. I think we just draw run HQ again. If they discard something, we run archives. PE seems pretty potent in startup. It's been the thing I'm scared to most see on the other side of the table. There's no net damage protection
whatsoever. They might have something big. Yeah.
I think we run server 9 now.
Yeah, let's do server 9.
Because they didn't
we don't have
advance
to watch it for high profile target.
Yeah, there's no
This is
HPT.
startup.
It's a House of Knives. Do we even want to steal it? Yeah, I guess so. Draw. We don't really have anything to do here. Wraparound, yeah, wraparound could be reasonable. I think wraparound is one of the better one influence barriers. Maybe Ice Wall if they're on Trickle Light, actually. Oh,
true. Yeah, that'd be a fun one.
Yo, Phil, how's it going? Sorry to hear about your change to the Shadow Net, but I'm excited to hear it whenever it comes out. Jim says ping? Oh yeah, ping is okay, but ping is like 2 influence? There's a spin doctor. And now they're gonna show us a bit of what they have here.
But they can ignore one of them. That's interesting.
Oh no, Yagi, Neurospike, Snare.
Oh no.
That can't be good.
No, it's not good for them.
Not good for them at all.
And no clicks left to install ice or anything.
So there probably is just one Yagi in there. Yeah. So we run archives. Run HQ.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that there's not an ice that hit HQ. If they put an Engram Flush on HQ, it's such a different game. So they shuffle Trickle Light and Unseen, so that's probably Yagi. So we have like probably 2 snares in HQ, 1 Yagi. Neurospike we can trash, which is actually important for us to trash. Oh, good game.
Yeah, GG.
Good game. You don't need to install things.
And our ability never triggered. Because they never has the ice.
It was never relevant. If we were Lou, we would have kind of milled ourselves. But if we were Keiko, oh my god, we would have drawn through the deck. But that would actually have helped us because we spent actually real clicks to draw. Thanks to the game. What's on the table? What's just doing? It was Urtica, and Agenda. Server 8 looks like it was an agenda. And that's the thing also, like unlike old standard, even because there's no psychic field, right? The risk of running an unadvanced card is actually really low. The worst it can be is snare. It used to be a blowout on psychic field, and psychic field was like really, really, really scary. Yeah, we saw that one with Celeb. Yeah, draw 6 turn. I'm smashing HQ for sure. Yeah, if we had a Stargate, I'm assuming that here on HQ, on R&D, excuse me, it's probably an Engram Flesh or maybe even a Saisentan, and that can be a bit difficult for us. Like, we just put a Botulus and run every couple turns through it, if anything. But we had 4 cards left. Our killer, Mayfly, a cookbook, and Xanadu. And they were totally right, like, obviously, to trash the DreamNet, because the DreamNet helps us a fair bit accessing safely.
Yeah, interesting game.
I believe it. No hobo is a real shame. The game was a degenerate Netrunner. We just slam things. All you do is slam things. And like that's like a legitimate thing, is that with sort of archetype, it really, really required, or not required, but it was way stronger when it had access to Mushin no Shin, because 4 advanced cards are so much harder to check. A 4 advanced Junebug, a 4 advanced Urtica Cipher, that is a world of different than a 2 advanced Urtica or Junebug, let alone Cerebral Overrider, which, you know, yeah, that it is. Thanks for the game, eh? I really hope that at some point Nisei puts out some archive poison. It doesn't have to be as potent as Breach Dome, just something to make running archives versus RH more interesting. Yeah, they really have to. They have to. Well, not they have to. I think. Oh, cheers. I'm surprised that they didn't, and I think everyone was surprised that they didn't, based off of the Restoring Humanity ability.
Yeah, I imagine they'll put stuff in that maybe triggers off of like being flipped face up, so it can't be like maybe permanent archives poison.
Yeah,
like that seems to be something they want to play with anyway, by the existence of RH and Kakarimbo.
So something that I didn't realize how cool the play was, and this is what actually I saw in one of the replays from the Naptime Reina deck that was posted on Netrunner DB list, is one of their opponents was playing Restoring Humanity, and they were doing subliminal messaging. And they top decked their subliminal messaging early in the game, and they just didn't play it. They just threw it out. And I didn't realize that was actually a way better play. I was thinking when I did the review about having 2 subliminal messagings, right? You play the first and you discard the second and you don't mind. But what they did is they would just discard the first and then chose, because it's a May ability, to return it to your hand, and they just never returned it. So it's the best of both worlds, right? Like it's a permanence thing in archives. You know what I mean?
Oh, I guess if you're playing RH, then it is something that you can always choose to return and then have extra cards in hand to discard. Yeah, I see. Yeah,
so it was better than subliminal, because if you just top deck and play the subliminal every turn, which is like RH, if they make a run on HQ and don't check archives, then it's still face down archives, and the subliminal is worth it to some extent.
Yeah, that's really cool. I hadn't thought of that. Let me add that to my RH deck.
Flip it and then just always run. Like, then you're kind of goofed.
Yeah,
because the opponent wasn't running. And it was actually this deck that wasn't running because their economy wasn't very, very strong.
I was able to take advantage of that in a game a little while ago where my opponent was like aggressively running archives every time there was a single face down card in there, just to deny me the credits.
Yeah, that's
and eventually we came down to a turn where like they needed all their clicks to get in, because I had like border controls and poetic and stuff like that, and they still like tunnel vision. They're like, nope, I have to check archives first. And then they only had 3 clicks left, and then they realized that they just were not able to weren't able to get in.
And like, I don't think checking archives is that good, right? Because you're basically saying, I hope you can't discard a card next turn, because the value of that has already gone through. And you're also saying that my deck is worse than your deck, so I have to hold you down, as opposed to be like, yeah, that's fine, I'm just going to go faster than you, and my clicks are more efficient or better than your clicks.
Yep.
Yeah, Lamil says something like Honey Farm. Yeah, Honey Farm is probably what you need to do, but the thing that I worry about Honey Farm, and I forget what the text on Honey Farm exactly was, and it's not a standard legal card, but with Honey Farm, now you just don't run archives. Right? Like, it doesn't make it interesting anymore. Like, that was kind of the thing with Shock, is you could take damage. Excuse me. Oh, it loses a credit. Yeah, because then you just never run archives against Restoring Humanity, because Honey Farm is just financially that. It makes the decision not interesting. Just no shocks. My friend ran those on the ice that pushed you into the servers on like every deck back in the day. Yeah. All right. Built to last could go a bit faster. They're on actually straight up 40 cards instead of 44, which isn't something you see that often.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
We have Cookbook Fermenter. We have a single Mayfi for early aggression if we need it. But we have no long-term economy or no burst economy. Thanks, you too.
Hey, Floofy.
Is Eli a good barrier for Jinteki and Startup? Yes, it is quite good for one influence. Actually, that showed up classically in PE decks back in the day, just because it was like taxing and annoying enough for one influence. And also the clicks matter because you need the clicks if you click through it to draw up to like avoid snare tag. Like it's good no matter how you slice it. You're not trying to keep them out. You're just trying to make it a bit more difficult. How do you feel about this hand, man?
Honestly, like I do like the Cookbook Fermenter. But you're right. Like we need something more long term.
Okay.
Maybe.
You want them all?
Yeah, let's mulligan. Yeah, let's mulligan.
I feel
mulligan,
like
so
I quarterbacked the last game a bit too aggressively. I'm gonna kind of slow down.
Okay, so this is probably worse.
Yeah,
and that's my fault. And I'm gonna take responsibility for that one.
Oh, that's okay.
No, I should.
This came up on the Team Covenant stream, but people were talking about what about if Netrunner had a different mulligan system, like the mulligan system from Arkham Horror, in which you can selectively choose cards to mulligan and you don't shuffle those back into your deck when you redraw. And I'm not sure if Nisei ever addressed it, but the idea was that kind of benefits combo decks way too heavily, and I see that.
Yeah. Yeah, and like from the corp side, like the mulligan system as it is encourages more bluffing kind of plays.
Yes.
And like suboptimal ice placement in the first few turns, which can be really integral to an interesting game.
Yeah. What do you want to do here? Do you want to face check to get Reina? Because we've been forgetting to do Reina.
Yeah. Botulus face check or just regular face check?
I think we regular face check, right? We want to use this when we need it, not for value.
Okay, let's try it.
HQ or R&D, bud? Oh, we lost Pat. Okay, I'm gonna go HQ. Patter Day. Yeah, oh, imagine playing against CTM with Arkham Mulligan. Hey, man, you cut out there for a second.
Oh, I was screaming HQ.
Oh,
so
fantastic.
I'm glad you're able to listen to me.
So they have a hedge fund, so we're really incentivized to force a res. They also might have a government subsidy, so keeping their money down is really important. They also didn't res an Afshar, which would have been bad. I think we want to poke R&D here, but we maybe wanted to install a DreamNet first.
Let's check it.
We should have put a DreamNet first down if we face check, but
it's too late for DreamNet.
It's too late now, yeah, and Ballista also would be a problem. Yeah, DreamNet first probably was right, Floofy. Okay, that's fine. That's exactly what he wanted to do, because now they spent 4 for this, like a real 4 after the credit fire. So, well, now they're at 5, but okay.
Yeah, so they still can get back up with the card we saw there.
Yeah.
But we'll just draw.
Seems rough, dude. Simulchip?
Credit.
I don't want to discard. That's the problem. Like, I'm never going to play Nihilist until we draw Career Fair. It's way too expensive and it doesn't do anything.
Maybe put the Botulus on the ice that's res now.
The problem is,
just let it grow.
If they put the Botulus on this ice that's res now, they can jam behind a remote and we can do nothing about it. Right? Like, I like keeping this for when they push their first wall-to-wall or agenda, whatever. Like, I think it's so valuable. Okay. Everyone thought MTG couldn't change its mulligan because it would be too good for combo decks, and they changed it and it wasn't a big deal. What did they change about their mulligan, though? The scry part? You have Simulchip? No, I know we have Simulchip, but we only have 2 of these. You see, like, this is good. Now we're pressuring their remote. They didn't play Hedge Fund, man. Do you want to DreamNet HQ? It's only a card, though. I guess we like really have to hit Fermenter. Don't get Ballista here. Oh, they can't res Ballista.
The thing about Magic is, like, you can accidentally draw a really bad hand and not be able to play around it like you can in Netrunner.
Yeah.
So I think having a more interesting.
Shit. Okay, so we don't have anything to trash here. Bless your soul.
Yeah.
That's a good reason to get the Botulus down early, but I don't think we can do anything here. We just have to install the Fermenter and click for credit, right?
Yeah. Anthony, we're doing startup right now with the decks of the week, but I think we're doing standard with our deck up.
Yeah, normally we play standard on this channel unless we like do something really wacky, but it's just the deck list right now of the week is standard. Sorry, is startup. The game survived, but it's significantly different. To say the Zendikar Mulligan wasn't a big deal is a bit of a mislead. It fairly significantly impact Eternal formats, especially Legacy and Vintage. Oh, they changed the Mulligan across every format? Wow. Scry was the previous change. Now it's draw 7s until you keep, then bottom deck cards of your choice to the number of times you mulligan. Oh, Sanji. Okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Okay, their economy is good. They just hedge fund into Hansei, so they got 10 credits that turn and something is in archives. Now we know the SDS is in hand. They're not raising on HQ, so it could easily be an archer they can't afford. What's the big ice we're scared of? Trebuchet?
Is Trebuchet that terrible? I guess targeting the DreamNet would be frustrating, but
we still do it.
yeah,
Reina, we don't have anything else here. MTG players on full force tonight. Yeah, we could. They didn't res Ice Wall? So we have a single Corroder. Now the good thing about this is Botulus deals with it really well, but I think we just want to set up our cookbook. We're setting up, right?
Yeah.
Or do you want to run archives? Because that's better than drawing, right? Because of DreamNet?
Oh, true. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So they threw out a Colossus. They didn't want to res that for 7. We have a Tranquilizer, which can line up really well if they're playing Botulus or even things like Colossus. Their economy is pretty good right now, but again, as soon as they res something like this for 7, it looks a heck of a lot different. Do we draw? Do we credit?
I feel like credit here.
Okay. I believe it. Red Mages Unite. The mull that I'm used to is draw 7 and draw 1 less for each mull. That's what I was used to when I played some Magic casually. That looks like SDS if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
So Botulus at run.
Yeah, and lose the
Botulus.
You use the Botulus and then use Summoner Ship to install right away, right?
Yeah. Then we put it on HQ and start smashing.
True.
Now we have to worry about punitive. So we might pop this. We have a link. But if they res this, like it's generally a pretty big swing for them. It's usually 5 credits. And it is 4 credits. It's an Enigma. Okay. Well, that's okay.
Oh.
So Enigma has 2 subroutines. We'll break the one that ends the run. And then we'll lose a click. Please be okay. So we'll steal. We drew a card. We'll trash the Botulus. We'll reinstall it. Do we do it on the remote? I think we don't do it on the remote because we have a Ute in hand. I think we put it on HQ.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think we put it on HQ, and maybe we do pop the fermenter here just in case there is a
they don't have 2 punitive in 4, yeah, but it's probably okay. This is a conservative play, so we're playing it safe. We might not have needed it, but I think that's fine. Played competitive Magic for a while, but never seduced me away from the cardboard crack. Yeah, welcome over to the good side.
So I've got a friend who got me to playing Legends of Runeterra. And he was talking recently, like this is his first competitive card game. And he was talking recently about like some people have whispered like what are they going to do for rotation? He's like, I don't even know what rotation is. And I'm like, oh, this is my time to shine. Finally, I have a student because I survived the great Netrunner rotation discourse.
Rotation's exciting. Get that DJ on the table. Why? It's too expensive. We're putting Ute and checking this last click, right? It looks like a wall-to-wall.
Yeah.
This looks like Chrysium on HQ, right? What else is defensive upgrade? I think we run HQ first, and if there is a Chrysium to lose the DreamNet draw, I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah, let's try that.
We really disincentivize them for resing us. And there's no mass comms in this format. There's no Red Planet Couriers, so... Have you seen the Red Planet Couriers deck people think is the best deck in the meta right now?
No, I haven't seen that.
We'll talk about that after.
Cool.
It's not fun. If you're not installing Nihilus with the startup deck, will Nihilus ever get installed? No. But yeah, we will install it. I just want to top deck a Career Fair. So it's a Colossus in hand and a Chrysium Grid from there. So that made this run not successful. That's what Chrysium Grid does. It just makes runs considered not successful. You still access cards as if it was a successful run, but they're considered not successful. So anything like DreamNet that says the first time you make a successful run, don't trigger. So they spent 3 credits for that privilege.
And that's fine with us.
That is quite okay with us. I'm thinking, like the problem is if we want to install Fermenter, we have to do Nihilus first. So we can't do Nihilus, Fermenter, Ute run. So I think maybe we just draw one Ute run.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, actually, no, we don't have to draw because we're going to get a draw anyways when we run server 1. I think we do credit Ute run. Legit?
Strixhaven's theme it did look pretty cool to me. Like, you know, a magic school that's under constant threat of war from anti-magic creatures. I still follow like the magic subreddits. Um, yeah, might as well just do that.
RPC BTL is
And,
gross good. Yeah, it looks really good.
yeah,
It's a wall to wall. We need to take that down, right?
yeah, that's gonna get annoying.
But then we have no money. It's just this fermenter. I feel like we can't give them money. We're an econ denial deck, right?
Yeah.
I used to manage an LGS, so I've played basically every TCG that was remotely interesting. Oh, super cool. What stood out to you over the years?
Oh yeah, that's great. That's a kind of knowledge I wish I had. Like I wish I played more TCGs in the 90s because that was such a strange period for them.
Yo, Flesh and Blood is really hot right now. Flesh and Blood CCG, and I tried like on Tabletop Simulator, just like the basic free starter deck that at some point was free. It looks like Flesh and Blood is like really suffering from post-pandemic scarcity sort of thing. You know, like where everything's sold out immediately and people are scalping stuff. It's like starter decks are like $40-$50.
Gross.
When they should MSRP, I think for 20. But I didn't think it was very interesting, but I realized I only played the very basic like damage to other person's face deck. Okay, now they're jamming something. If it's unadvanced, there's a chance it's above the law that trashes our DreamNet. It could most likely just to be another what's it called? You know what it is.
A wall to wall?
Yes. They can't res the Colossus here because it would cost them 7. We could get through this for 2 credits, but then we don't really have a turn.
I think this is set up on a turn. I think if this is an agenda, they've got this, right?
Yeah.
Although if it was an agenda, you think they would have advanced it once to take advantage of their ID ability. But
yeah, me too.
That's just me.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's a wall to wall. Pat, you remember this threw me from a loop when I was reviewing this card. This card used to be worded differently, that the draw card wasn't attached to the successful clause, and they changed it. I don't know if Pat's reading it or if he's frozen. I think he's frozen. Yeah, we lost Pat again. It looks stunned. But this card actually, the draw used to not be attached to the successful run.
Okay, yeah, I do remember specifically they were set.
Yeah, thinking. Oh, man, I just wish we had money. Like I wish we had Wildcat Strike. I wish we had anything here. Like I think we just have to do Fermenter Click for credits, which seems so embarrassingly slow. Maybe also the next thing to do is like just Tranquilizer. Yeah, this feels really rough. Yeah. My favorite throughout the year is Magic, Dragon Ball Z. That's what we call it in Canada. Flesh and Blood, the Lord of the Rings TCG, Marvel Champions, Netrunner, and the WoW TCG. Jailbreak for 2 cards on HQ since it's free. AO can't because Chrism Grid will eat the jailbreak. Oh man, it was an Atlas that they didn't advance. Beans. Yeah, we can't. Chrism eats it. I basically only play out of print card games after FFG and Netrunner. I told some friends I'd start playing L5R for a small fee to take me up on it. Oof. Okay, so we could go HQ. We don't draw a card, which is unfortunate for incidental value. I think the remote is pretty good. Their econ's kind of low. It might be a time that we actually just like tranquilize our R&D to put the pressure on, because resing this for 4 is a lot after they get the refund.
With jailbreak, I haven't checked my physical copy. Does that have the updated text on it? Like how recently? I
believe so. Okay, on Nisei's spoiler article, on the preview, the text of this jailbreak was different, and they changed it since before release. So Pat, the problem here with the Nihilist is like it's better for us to career fray down Earthrise by like a mile because we don't have viruses in hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have a play here. We could consider running HQ for a single, but I'd rather set up. Like if we draw into a sure gamble, then we can do a Fermenter gamble, and then we're kind of in the game, and then we could consider doing Nihilist install Tranquilizer. But yeah, we're flying way too close to the ground in terms of economy. We have like what? No dirty laundries, no dirty laundries, no bravado, 3 sure gambles. Oof. Like there's a lot of economy you got to this deck. I think I would not play an Anarch deck in startup without playing 3 strike, 3 gamble, 3 dirty laundry. All right, I think I got enough socializing. I think I'm gonna go play Pokemon Snap while I wait for Returnal to download. Catch y'all later. Oh, yo, I'm like super jealous that you're playing Returnal. Have fun out there, eh?
I'm jealous about Pokemon Snap. I actually ordered a physical copy. Should be arriving soon.
Oh, yo, so it looks like they might have access to Colossus at this point, because they have 7 credits. Do you want to just pop the Fermenter and take the Colossus?
What is the cost? Like trash is a resource, trash is a program.
Exactly.
But then I guess that would be all their credits, and we
Yeah.
in theory have another stumble chip. Yeah, sure. Let's try
And
that.
there's no NGO front in the format.
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay, well I'm gonna pop this first because losing this actually would kind of be worse. Now
we get. Come on, it's
you know
time.
what? Honestly, installing the Carnivore to trash the Crisium grid is like kind of cute. But installing this doesn't do anything. Like we're not installing viruses this turn. I'd rather run and see what happens here.
We can use the extras on Botulus that we're never using.
No, you're right about that. Let's see what happens here first.
I've heard the new Pokemon Snap has a rival character who's completely useless. Like he just criticizes your photographs but never takes any of his own. Maybe it's a commentary on a certain kind of person. I don't know.
It's an ice wall.
It is a nice wall.
Okay. So this seems bad for us. This is looking like an off-world office. If it's a sandbox, we're like really upset with ourselves.
Oh yeah.
I think we Carnivore run HQ. They probably don't have agendas in hand, but we at least can get the Crisium down so we can put on some HQ pressure. I just don't think the HQ pressure is how we win because they're just going to jam everything behind the two things we can't deal with. Like card draw seems more important. So maybe we do Career Fair, Nihilist, and then install a Fermenter on R&D. Because that's the thing, like this deck would love a Stargate. It would love a Conduit because you can de-res and put enough economic pressure that they can't re-res like R&D.
Yeah, I like that play.
Okay. Okay, so we have our Nihilist. Returnal's great. I thought it'd be sick of roguelike games, but it has the hooks in me. It looks really cool. I don't play enough bullet hell games. Is it roguelike or roguelike? There's actually, those are two different things, technically.
I haven't taken a look at Returnal. I'm curious about it though.
It's really cool. It's the first time that studio's made a shooter, which is like fascinating. Oh, it's just an Atlas. They didn't even get a counter on it. They didn't value a counter. Whoa, they're just jamming. Yo, Timmy, how's it going? What's good? Welcome. Okay, so we're going to do the Nihilist first, I guess. Spend 2 virus counters. We'll use the ones on the Nihilist. The Corp can either trash a top card or let us draw 2. Let's see how risk averse they are. And the cool thing about them trashing a card is that we actually check it on tempo.
Yeah, well, we draw a card for it. That is nice workaround.
Yeah. So
and another reason why this deck really needs a Dirty Laundry or something.
Yeah. Dirty Laundry with the DreamNet is like incredibly good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I still think we like run archives, draw a card, then install Carnivore, go HQ because we can't do the remote yet unless we want to top deck a Botulus here for Ice Wall or Corroder.
Yeah.
So they trashed an Ice Wall. Okay, we drew into an Econ card, and honestly, we need the Econ. Yeah, the problem is if we install the Carnivore, we're never going to financially recover from this.
Yeah. But we can. Yeah, we don't. Well, let's install the daily cast, take credits.
Oh man, that feels so bad. I think you're right
Welcome to
though,
Netrunner.
But it feels awful.
I know.
Ugh. Yeah, we throw it in.
Next turn we can install.
This is a wall to wall, right?
Fine. Yeah, probably. They would have.
Oh no, it's another agenda. And that's because they didn't forward advance it. It looks like they're just jamming. Do they finally have their above the law here? What is this? Do they have seamless? Double seamless, we lose? Seamless advance. It's also worth noting that we do have now targets for SDS, which is really good. Like we always can lose something here. And if they do score, at least R&D will be open. They might purge here, which I don't think is good for them. But they could consider purging because they're going to lose the Hortum. And it slows down the Nihilist for 1 turn. That being said, you could actually add a virus counter to both of these and then get the Nihilist. Oh, they're drawing.
Yeah.
Defensive upgrade? Yeah, it's good the Nihilist doesn't say remove 2 virus counters from a card. It just says from your installed card. So you actually can divvy it up. Okay, we're going to HQ this turn, right?
Yeah, let's try it.
So we don't need all the counters on here. So they can either trash a card or give us a card draw. And this is not great to give your opponent a choice. They trashed a card. Good for them. Tranquilizer will de-res because it now has 3 virus counters on it. Botulus gets a counter. Cool. Earthrise draws 2. Okay, we do have a Botulus. So we could go the remote if we really wanted to. Okay. I think. But that's the problem.
Do we jailbreak R&D?
But then we can't break it if they res it. I think we have to get liberated down first for sure.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot we had Library. That was part of the. Yeah, let's do it. Click
I
it
think
twice and
we
maybe
run
install.
R&D. I think we run R&D and put down Earthrise.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Jailbreak R&D.
Oh, how about no? But then they res and then we're goofed. What about if we install Carnivore, run R&D, or Carnivore, run HQ? That's good. That's good. That's what we want to do.
Yes.
Okay. Because we can throw out Nihilist and we'll figure the last one out. Probably it might be a bit too late for Cookbook. So we'll use a virus counter on this to break the end of the run on the ice wall. No point advancing it. Access, we'll access the hand first. It's a hostile. We'll steal that. We're on game point.
Yeah.
Chrism Grid, we'll trash that for 2 cards. We don't get a card draw. So we're going to trash the Nihilist and I think the Cookbook.
Yeah, it's kind of late in the game for the Cookbook to get a lot of value.
Yeah, we only have another Botulus, 1 more Tranquilizer, 1 more Fermenter. It looks like they're scoring a hostile. Mm-hmm. And we don't really use the bad publicity, unfortunately. 2 for 5. We actually have to run server 1 now.
Yeah, we do. Looks like.
So we'll Nihilist these 2.
You didn't want to Nihilist the Tranquilizer? Because that was going to go over.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, anyway, right? We should have done that for sure. Okay, so we could lose here if this is another 3-2, and it was a weird jam for them. I'm worried it could be a snare. So if anything, we should run sooner than later. So we would draw 1 before we hit the snare, so we could install Botulus, liberated run. No, we want to do liberated run just so that if we
and if there's a tag, we can.
If it's a tag, yeah. This is also good. Oh, we have 1 more MU. I can't believe the trash button is like at the top. It's so easy to click it when you like use the card. Oh, we have bad publicity. That's sick. Because this is actually quite expensive. Yeah. 3 credits for Enigma is kind of absurd. Oh, that makes sense. We're not trashing that, but we still technically get a successful run here. So we can run archives, but they might shuffle in. And that's probably why they were like totally fine. They saw the Nihilist and they put a Spin Doctor in there. And they shuffled the face down. There actually looks like there was something in there if we ran archives first. So now we just run HQ, right?
Yeah, let's check it. So could you remind me, it's been a long time since I played in the Jackson meta, of course.
Yeah.
If a Jackson is alone on the table, no ice, and it's used before you arrive, is it still a successful run, or did the server stop existing and therefore the run was not successful or unsuccessful?
If the server disappears, so if a naked Spin Doctor's run and it disappears, the run is considered neither successful nor unsuccessful.
Right. Do we want to trash the same thing with NGO?
Oh, why the hell did we not jailbreak here?
That's a good question. Do we trash this?
It's a really good res for them on 4. Because we get through this for 3 credits with Yute.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
We do have bad pub.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's not terrible.
We have liberated too, yeah. So the remote server is not good right now. They need to figure out a way how to make that good. A Colossus res would be a problem, and that's why we need to get it liberated as soon as possible. Yeah, and because we don't have anything like, what's it called? Because we don't have anything like Hive Mind in this format, we can't do any sort of the runs where we like install a Tranquilizer mid-run. So if they res a Colossus, we have to deal with it immediately.
Yeah.
But we are on game point. I think at this point we just get enough money for Yute to jailbreak R&D probably. They have a lot of things to jam though, which is good for them. Like we have to respect any unadvanceable card. They probably have multiple Spin Doctors. They probably have multiple wall-to-walls. And they have 7 cards in hand, so they're going to have some good choices here. And we're not respecting Archer in the slightest.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I forgot about Archer in this format. I don't know why, because I put it in my Wayland decks, but...
Yeah, so far the Nihilist has milled 2 cards. Our Ice Wall.
No, it's milled more than that. It's milled like 3 or 4.
But they protected them. Uh-oh, advanceable card. Okay, so they're betting that we can't get in there, and they're probably right. So we'll spend 2. Again, they'll trash a card or something else. We can run archives to see what's not an agenda, what could be an agenda. We can also...
And it would draw us a card.
Yeah, so I think we just jailbreak HQ to draw 2.
True.
Because they drew a fair bit that turn. They actually drew 3 cards. But yeah, we lose to this. There's so many things that we lose to here. And that's the problem, is that we don't have consistency with our breakers. We really need to get fire with our viruses. Afshar, no. Colossus, no. Okay.
Okay.
So we have no breakers in hand.
Ooh, interesting.
We have 2 Botuluses down. We have 1 in 22 to draw a Botulus. We have 1 in 22 to draw a Mayfly.
Draw a Mayfly.
And there's no ice that they could res here that would stop them from winning the game. They only need 3 more credits. So we'd have to make them res something that costs 10. Archer res would be okay, because they would actually...
It would set them back enough.
Yeah.
Unless there's... I think draw, see what we... And if... Yeah, I think draw is what we have to do.
Yeah. So now we run it, and if it's bad, we run Archives and pray.
Yeah.
But yeah, this looks bad. Maybe it's not an ETR. It's unlikely, because they jammed behind it. Could you draw a Simul Chip? Yeah, we could draw a Simul Chip. Oh, double Enigma.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's fine.
That's doable, right? It just barely.
Yeah, we have to lose a click. God, you taste so bad. Is there not a better decoder? Like, Buzzsaw would do this for 1. Oh man, I don't like Yute. And like, I think specifically in this sort of deck, I think you'd want Buzzsaw over Yute, because like, you don't, the big stuff you Botulus, the small stuff you Buzzsaw.
Yeah, true.
So we're not gonna we're gonna lose a click. I'm gonna break the end around on both of them, because we're gonna lose a click anyways.
Yeah.
Interesting they didn't install the Colossus. Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah, Colossus would have been good, but...
You can't get in? Why not?
No, we can't get in.
Oh, once per run with Yute. Yute is so bad.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh god, Yute is the worst. I'll break the click loss. Just throw me out.
Yeah.
Oh god, Yute. That's why they were doing it.
Okay, so that's too bad.
Were your 3 virtual too late for Cookbook? But we don't even have 3 virtuals at that point. Like, we have to install Xanadu, Cookbook, and DreamNet. And it's like, Xanadu doesn't do much in this matchup. So now it's either run Archives or run R&D. And run Archives would mean they would spend 4. Doesn't change much. Would you rather run Archives or R&D, Pat? It's your choice.
Oh man,
could win the game right there.
See, oh no, why are you doing this to me? I guess we have to do R&D.
Why?
Okay, I know R&D is 1 card instead of 2, but I feel like they might have had ways of dealing with the danger in Archives.
Well, they spin doctored this one. They spin sorry, this first card in there, they spin doctor and left it. So we know one of these cards in Archives is not an agenda. So it's unless it's a crazy bluff. So it's either the top card of one in Archives or one on top of R&D.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sangre, not sure why this list wouldn't run Buzzsaw. It's perfectly situated for Buzzsaw. It's exactly what this list wants.
Yeah, I suppose Archives is the play here, because that's 2 instead of 1 access. But
we know, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's totally random, right? Like, it's full random. Here, though, they might have known that it was an agenda, and they would have iced up Archive, so yeah.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
So maybe R&D was a bit better. Oh, Biotic, wow. GG. GG? GG. Oh, they had the Biotic Labor out. Oh, Resing R&D would have done it. They didn't have Seamless. They Biotic'd out a 5-3. Ooh.
That's funny.
Good game. Wow. Did you just top deck a thing there? We were considering... Oh, HQ was also an option.
True.
Man. Archive feels safer? Yeah, David, we know that it's a Whoredom, so like we just spend all our money. Nah, nice. Aye. Yeah, no, the consistency of the breakers in this deck doesn't make... Ooh, Stampage. Doesn't make too much sense to me. I drew every piece out of my deck. Oh man, Yute is so not good. Like, I think in terms of virtuals, we literally have to install the Cookbook, Xanadu, and DreamNet. Oh, or Paladin.
Yeah.
And technically Gachapon helps you there, but like... I don't know. Like, that's still asking for a lot. Hey, you too. All right, that's that.
There are elements of the deck that I like. Yeah, obviously there's a lot of things that you could swap around, But there are elements of the deck that I don't think are terrible. Like it made me like I feel like Nihilist is still not a good card. But
No.
at least with these viruses that gain counters turn after turn, and they don't really need all those extra counters like that, it just sees some value there. So
Yeah. I
yeah,
think the biggest. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just like I'm stretching to find, you know, useful things to say, but
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that's a bummer is that Reina's ability robbed them like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 credits in a game. Compare that to like Keiko that gets free draw. Compare that to Lu who gets free draw and credits. Keiko also gets credits. Like it's or even Quetzal would have been like okay. Like it just doesn't seem impactful enough. And yeah, we have one link, which seems interesting because I thought we'd maybe get another link and then DreamNet would be online, but that doesn't actually come through in this deck. So it's I think there's a lot of things you could tune to the deck, but like the basic archetype of having some annoying tranquilizers, having the botulus, and then having low strength breakers, like it works out pretty well. But like we're struggling with economy, we're struggling with consistency, and we didn't draw too much of a deck. Like they have 14 cards left, we have 21. That's not that far apart. They had 5 cards left in their deck actually. Can you even get another link in startup? Ooh, that's a really good question.
Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, no, there's a Talus, Saber Trooper Talus, right?
Yeah, Talut's might be the only card. Only took me like 3 years to finally get a game in. Hey, good game, Spooky. It was 40 cards. Yeah, it was 40. I realized that at the beginning, which is interesting. Yeah, what is it? Can you advanced? What's the link symbol? I don't know. I think it's just Talut, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think so.
It would have to be in Ashes. Full cards, or I'll do images only. And have to be a runner card, so that I don't know what the tag is for runner. I'm just gonna go to the end. Yeah, Talut does link. That's probably it. Yeah, just Talut. Oh, that's a bummer. That is a weird thing. It's good, obviously, for support. In terms of, and Talut in Lat kind of makes sense, right? Like that'll happen, but it's good for support for like both Apex. It works with it also works with Keiko, right? Like with Keiko, you're just digital. Like that thing works so much better.
You mean Hoshiko, right? Keiko's the
excuse me, yeah, Hoshiko, yeah. I confused the two. My startup and system sets came in the mail today. Yo, loathing, that's awesome.
Nice.
It's really exciting to get physical cards after you haven't seen them for a while.
Oh yeah.
Also, Pat, hey, this is a thing that I don't think we've played with or realized. Lockdowns, right?
Okay.
That was the thing that came out in Uprising. Don't see a lot of play modernly. These feel a lot more playable because you now can play 5/3s with lockdowns with seamless launch. Yeah.
That's a good point. I hadn't really considered that.
That is kind of fascinating. The idea that you can do install advanced NAPD Cordon. And you know what's I think really cool, and we're probably going to put it in our deck that we're going to build right now. What's the text on next activation command?
Well, let's look it up.
Because I didn't remember it.
Yeah, I literally don't remember what that one does.
Because what I thought with next activation command, it lets you not click through bioroids and give you +2 strength. But there was a deck that was posted, basically, it was an ASA deck or a PD deck, I forget, that was after the VLC ban. And they put next activation command in their deck specifically because it's so good against the meta right now. Because one of the strongest things against that deck...
Boomerang.
Exactly. So the idea is that you can jam on tempo and then next activation command, and now Botchus and Boomerang don't work. That seems kind of cool.
That's so much better than I realized. Yeah, that's really cool.
The Navi upgrade is fun in the current meta. Yeah, Daojin, it works too. The Navi Mumba at grid, but it's like 2 influence, and this is technically a HB thing you can do. And even if it doesn't line up, that's a bummer with Navi Mumba, is that this actually gives +2 strength to things, which is pretty relevant against a fair few breakers.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, like that's kind of cool. I'm kind of into this, and we'll probably end up playing it because we're going to build an Architects of Tomorrow deck right now. I play Talut in my Lad deck because DreamNet seems really good. I can maybe see playing in Arena, but I don't know if the influence costs. Probably not worth it. No, it's probably not worth it. And on top of that, like the ability to install programs the turn you use them doesn't really exist that much in Anarch, right? Like you could play Chameleon, but then it's not really great. Yes, Bioroid boys. How's it going, Wyatt?
Do you have a strong preference towards meat space, Netrunner, or net space? 60-40, closer or further? I mean, I'm all for meat space Netrunner. I've been playing more Jinteki, more JNet than I ever have the past month and a half or so. But I definitely much always prefer, like, meat space is a different game. because
Yeah.
the bluffing is more intense and interesting. It's partly about reading your opponent at least a little bit. I just will always much prefer meat space.
Yeah, like this is the back. How do you say this nicely? Like Jinteki.net's amazing. It's so good. And we're so lucky to have it, and all the devs that work on it so hard, obviously. Last year specifically, like Worlds was online and it worked without a hitch. Like that's amazing.
Yeah.
But if I had to
But
I prefer playing in person 100%. If someone said like, would you want to play a tournament or even casual games on Jinteki or in person? I would almost always pick in person unless I was unwell or didn't want to talk to people for some reason. So yeah, the game is incredibly different in person, and there's like so much to physicality of cards games that goes unsung, and it's reading people. Like it's a game about bluffing, like just looking and watching people. And on JNet you don't do table talk. Like it's entirely different. I miss this little personal interaction with the meat space. Yeah, there's so much to it. Like I've said this before, I'm one of those jags that like clicks their cards and shuffles their hand so much. I also play way quicker in person, I think, and a lot of it's probably because I don't stream, and that's intimidating and changes the game. When I play in person, I have to ask every turn cards in hand, and like that is so cool. Like that scares the shit out of people. It's my favorite thing. And you don't have to do any of that stuff in JNet. There's also a lot of reads in person, like looking at servers, putting your hand down. Like there's a lot of ways that actually comes into play. Playing in person is such a big deal. My partner basically doesn't want to ever play outside of meat space, which is super fair. Yeah, I know that's the thing, is there's a lot of people like that. Like I know specifically there's a lot of people in my meta that have played so much Netrunner, and there's such a big deal in our Netrunner, in our local Netrunner meta, that basically fell off last year because they don't want to play on Jinteki.net, and also because it's also really different, right? Like where you spend your day, I spend my day at this desk doing video stuff all day, and then like I have to continue staying at this desk looking at the same screen for more hours. It's not a problem for me. I'm like not too bad with that, but for a lot of people that's like, you know, that's a problem. So there's a lot of reasons why people don't want to be staring at the screen as much as they are. For her, the reason she fell for Netrunner is she feels like it's the only card game she played where you really play your opponent more than the game. Yeah, to some extent for sure. Some decks work on that a bit better than others. Oh, hey, real quick, Pat. There's some news that's really cool, I guess.
What's up? Oh yeah.
Firstly, if we haven't talked about this, Team Covenant just earlier today streamed some Project Nisei. Check it out on their channel. If you don't know who Team Covenant are, they hold a really big place when it comes to Netrunner, for getting a lot of the people who classically play Netrunner into the game. So they used to make these videos. This is actually how I got into Netrunner. Like their Netrunner coverage goes back all the way to basically when the game came out, and the last. Yeah, exactly, right? These are the friends, to some extent brothers, owners of stores in a store in Tulsa, and they've been doing online live stuff pretty consistently almost every day throughout the pandemic. But they would also consistently stream and make content, and they made some of the best content for Netrunner. They would have good casting, they'd have overlays where you saw the cards, they would do unboxings, they just did so much for the game. They ran a lot of tournaments. It was awesome. It's gonna be hard to scroll this deep, but like they did a heck of a lot of Netrunner stuff, and it was some of the most influential Netrunner stuff back in the time. Now, sorry,
what do you look? Are you looking for something in particular, or just scrolling through?
I was looking for Netrunner content. I think we're gonna get there eventually.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like we're around here. No, that's Game of 3. Yeah, there you go. Finals Game 2, Netrunner FFG Worlds 2016. Like it was on their channel. Like they streamed it. Like that's kind of a big deal. And I think even Steven was doing commentary on this. So that's sick. And they haven't played Netrunner in a long time, since it basically FFG dropped the license. They hadn't done anything. And they also, I think, talked about it. They would get asked questions a heck of a lot. Oh, we skipped 2017 Netrunner Worlds? Beans. Okay, we went over it. But they basically, like, it was hard for them. People get questions about playing Netrunner, and for them it was kind of difficult to do. But they did a Throwback Thursday. They've played some Nisei Netrunner a while ago with Uprising or Downfall. I forget which expansion, but they largely play games that are in print, like Flesh and Blood, Skytear, Marvel Champions. They've been playing a lot of Arkham, Ashes too, Star Wars. Oh, that's Star Wars CCG. That's old, right?
Well, they do one stream a week that's like a throwback.
Yeah, Throwback Thursdays.
Something that's out of print, something that's hard to acquire, or in Netrunner's case, something that, like, you know, that they can't sell as a store.
Yeah.
That they still want to play and show to people.
Yeah, Hackathon was
because
actually
they're good
mentioned in
games.
chat. I read the comment. Yeah, they played that a month ago, which is really cool. This like kind of pentagram based game, it seems.
Oh,
Anyways,
I thought when the person mentioned Hecatome, I thought they were talking specifically about the Magic the Gathering card. That was one of my favorites back in the day.
oh no, yeah, no, I think it was about Hecatome the game, which I've heard of, but I'm not too familiar with. So, anyways, today they played System Gateway. Watch the stream; it's great. They seem to have a really good time, and they that's a really big deal because today there was like a live stream with like 300, 400 people watching Netrunner. So if you're watching this, maybe you found your way onto the stream and you watched from Team Covenant. There's a lot of people in chat being like, "Whoa, this looks great! I want to get into it." That's super exciting. Like any exposure for Netrunner is huge. Another thing I want to plug. This is StimHack, which was a very popular website back in the day, stimhack.com. This is actually founded by one of the guys who now is one of the main Slay the Spire devs. And they are writing new articles. They basically said, we're going to consistently be writing new articles. And what makes Netrunner special is written by Elusive. I haven't given this one a full read just yet. I need to, though, for sure. And explaining what the game was. And this was posted on r/board games, and it had people interacting with it. But what I can't emphasize enough, and there was a Reddit thread today, somebody asked about like what distinguishes ice that is good on HQ Centrals versus good for remotes. And all of this sort of thing, all of this sort of basic fundamentals, I'm going to look into Netrunner in a real mathematical, clean way. There's so many old StimHack articles that does this. And I wrote a comment talking about these two articles, Ice and Icebreakers, and Allow Me to Break the Ice. And actually the author found that, which is awesome. But San wrote this like back in 2018. And while the meta cards are different, the ideas, the fundamentals here are very much the same. And I'd highly recommend going through some of the old StimHack archives. You can just go to like articles and guides and jump back to like page 12, page 20. And there's some things that are clearly labeled fundamentals, and all the discussions here are really, really good. And I'd highly recommend you reading these if you want a bit more in-depth reading on a very technical way. I feel like there's another article that was published recently. Was it on r/Netrunner today or the other day? I forget. Anyways, I think that's largely it. All I want to say for new stuff. Hey Ma, what's up? I saw you obviously in the TC stream, Team Covenant Metropolitan Grid streams on the same day. What a privilege. Oh, we lost Pat again. Beans. Oh no, you're there. You're there. You're just so stoic.
I was just sitting too calmly, too serenely. I'm sorry.
Giles, can we plug this, please? Yeah, this is Netscape Navigators. This is Aki's Store Championship. It looks like it is on 2021-05-08. That's like soon, right? That's this weekend?
That's just a few days away, yeah.
It's a few days away. It's a store championship. Looks like it's going to be online. You can get involved. There's a bunch of links here. It has a lot of people signed up. It looks like already pre-registered 44 players.
Oh, good for them. Wow.
Whoa, that's huge. That
Cool.
is super cool. So that is this weekend. And we probably say this enough, but if you're new to Netrunner and you're worried about something like a store championship or organized play, I highly recommend getting involved.
Get involved.
Like if it seems intimidating and scary, like, oh, I don't play Netrunner competitively, I'm not good at the game, it doesn't matter. Like one of the best parts about store championships and any organized play, especially when it has enough players, is that basically after you maybe get stomped your first round by a very nice person, you'll be paired with somebody who has the same score as you, who's lost every game so far. And then eventually you'll find people that are even matches. And it's one of the best things you can do to get involved in the community and meet people and see the fun stuff other people brew and play. The community is like super, super nice. And if you can do it, if you're intimidated, I promise you, like, I understand it's a huge leap, but it's one of the best things you can do. And once you've done your first, you realize like, this is super approachable and the whole world opens up for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you learn so much about the game playing with other people too. Like,
yes,
if you feel like, oh, I'm not good enough at the game to play with other people, even at a casual event, like still go, because that will make you better if that's the thing that you're worried about. And like, yeah, there's a lot of bullshit about making friends that obviously doesn't happen. But like you can mostly, yeah, but like you will like meet other people who are into the same games you are as well. Everyone at that event has at least one thing in common with you.
Yeah. Yes, and like, oh my god, you put a bunch of like Netrunner dorks in the same room, like any excuse to talk about the game, it's so easy.
Every time it like sickens me.
It's something's wrong with us.
The camaraderie, the deep dives.
Wyatt says, I wrote one of the first StimHack articles. It was super unprofessional and opinionated, so we took it down. My deepest regret is that they didn't name my article Bad Publicity. That's amazing. A lot of the articles from the earlier time were like pretty I would say personality heavy. They were like somebody's opinion on these cards, and they would throw it like wild takes, and it was kind of fun to read. Baza says, I'm not great at Netrunner, and I've played in a lot of events at various levels, and I've never even once played someone who wasn't cool and fun and welcoming. That's exactly it, Baza. That's super cool. It might be the cool playmat though, right? I think that buys you a bunch of swag. That one is the first game I really got into organized play for, and such a great experience. Yeah, again, there's so many people with good experiences, and I highly recommend you to get into it. Also, maybe go with a friend. Like if you have a friend who you can like talk to between rounds, and if you're feeling really down, someone can cheer you up. Like go into it as a team. And one thing that's also really good, and I recommend to doing this, like a lot of people will go into tournaments and think like, oh man, I'm gonna win. I want to win 50% of my games or something like that. Like it is kind of nice to set your own goals, but you also have to kind of keep them realistic. Like I want to come in the top 8 in your first store championship. That's quite difficult. But say like, oh, I want to win one game, or I want this specific combo in my deck to fire off. Like it's so easy to set goals that like you'll have a good time. Yo, Gwen, how's it going? Hey everyone, welcome. It's nothing like my MTG OP experience. Yeah, it probably isn't. Did you have to set up delays for your cam/mic to sync them up? Is there some easy way? I need to sync mine. XRN. Right now, it's actually incredibly simple the way that we've sunk everything up. There is no delays whatsoever. I'm talking through Pat through Discord. He has a screen share to watch my screen through Discord, so he might have a small delay. And I'm routing his video in through a website called obs.ninja. And there's like no delay. Like Pat's audio from Discord and OBS Ninja is like totally synced. It's startling how good it is.
It's true.
Yeah. MTG organized play kind of made me leave MTOP, but that's also part of my local meta. Yeah, there's like really good, like, okay. I think we always dunk on Magic, and I don't have enough experience in a Magic meta. I know like Magic is like a really cool thing to do with friends for sure, but maybe when you go farther than that, you can get lucky or you can get unlucky. There's so many people playing the game. Who knows? My wife took me to a tourney once, and she said she was surprised by how normal nice everyone looked. I don't know what she expected, but I thought that was funny. That's honestly like a funny thing. Like, it's hard to say this without sounding like a shithead, but when you come into like a store, you can kind of tell what people play by what they look like. This sounds awful, but like,
yeah, it's absolutely true. And like, I'm going to let you continue so that I don't get in trouble.
No, like I don't want to say anything in trouble. Players. Like I'm not saying like Yu-Gi-Oh players are something bad or anything. Like God bless the Yu-Gi-Oh players. That's fantastic. But it's like kind of cool because it attracts people with somewhat similar interests that like you can tell like, oh, these people are probably playing Doomtown or I don't know. You can
right because of all the cowboy hats, the Stetsons,
and everyone has like studs on and stuff. Yeah, it's. Spurs, excuse me. Anyways, that was probably shitty. Excuse me if that was, but no, man, it's good. I've only played one Sword Champ and lost every game, but totally enjoyed the experience and learned so much. It's a really good game to lose, Netrunner. It's really fun to lose. I want to experience those kind of meetups and so far away. So one day, skip on one day for sure. And like, if you can make it, if it's hard because you don't have a local meta, and then there's like a store championship or a regional or something big that's like kind of out of the way. Once that kind of opens up, I'd recommend you go. It's like one of the biggest deals why Worlds is so cool because people come from all over the world just to celebrate this thing that we care about. I'm just gonna give us something to cancel him over. Oh
finally,
Pokemon players. Anywho, Pat, 12 influence. Right, how far does it go?
Oh, I forgot that this only had 12 influence. I mean, you're not spending it on ice. At least
you're not spending it on ice. Actually, border control is like kind of nice, but Haas Bioroid, true. Architects of Tomorrow, new ice, or new art, excuse me. 45-12. The first time each turn, the runner passes a rezzed piece of Bioroid ice. You may res one Bioroid card, paying 4 credits less.
Paying 4 less. Like
that's a lot of money.
It's a huge amount of money.
Yeah, it's a huge amount of money.
And the art looks like 2 buildings high-fiving each other.
Yeah.
like
yeah,
just always dope. Left hanging.
Oh man, they'll get there one day. I brought the looks things up, but I think I was expecting to be cliquish and welcoming. No, it super isn't. And I didn't mean to dunk on anyone. I hope everyone's having a good time wearing whatever the hell they want. Okay, so we got a new bioroids for Architects tomorrow. It's worth noting that when it says piece of bioroid ice, res 1 bioroid card, there are some cards in bioroids that aren't ice. Now they're very few and far between, and Ash used to be the best bioroid upgrade who rotated, so we're gonna lose that. But we're still gonna figure out any way to get some good bioroid reds. So I'm gonna go to collection, go standard,
tracker, I think.
And we're gonna go to ice. And what is the syntax for filter by type? S bioroid. Okay, here we go. It's as much money as it costs to install a Nihilist. Yo, free Nihilist for days. So it's a small enough list, and we can divide them into categories of amazing, pretty good, and maybe we'd play it because it's free. So let's go through the whole list here. Eli seems like a 3 of.
That's definitely a 3 of, for sure.
Yeah. Braun? Reses for 2 is real good.
I think 3 of if we can res it for 2.
Go to hit that 3. Yeah. Is it a good one? Oh, man, this is one of the best pieces of ice.
Oh, no. It is great, but like
so
we've got
good.
so much expensive piece of ice, and like if it's the first ice they're hitting, okay, fine.
Fairchild. Honestly, I don't know.
I don't think so. I mean, Fairchild 3, yes, but the other Fairchilds, I don't know how.
Yeah, obviously this is good, but like that's a big point, is that you want cheaper ice to be able to quickly get your ability up, and you also want bigger ice. A Fairchild 3, on the other hand, is a busted ass card. We're gonna hit that 3.
Yep, for sure.
Now Fairchild 2, not bad.
Fairchild 2 is okay.
It's okay. It's pretty good. It's honestly pretty good. You res it for free, which sounds really nice. It's pretty taxing. Black Orchestra struggles with this. The only thing that deals with it incredibly well is Amina for 2 credits, but everything else is a hassle. It's like 5 credits for Angolo. Yeah, it seems good.
And it's exactly 0. We're not wasting credits like with Eli.
Leaving them on the table. Now, Fairchild 1, this is interesting because some people play Fairchild 1 as a cheap res to enable their ability, but I don't entirely believe in that. I feel like we could just play more money instead of running bad ice.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yo, Nero, how's it going? Okay.
Let me see what else we got.
Kamali. It says brain damage on it. That doesn't work.
That's so.
It doesn't work.
Also, it's
Loki, on the other
Loki
hand, that's a 1 of. Oh man, this thing usually has like 4 subroutines on it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I like Loki. Loki with Fairchild is great.
What about if I could tell you that there's a worse Eli?
I don't think this works in Architects of Tomorrow. We're not getting good value out of it.
But look at it. It's like Eli, but worse.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
What if I tell you there was Kamali, but no, we don't play this card. Do you know what's really wild? Is this text here, this image here is actually not a real card from my understanding. The card was printed with, no, excuse me. The text is wrong. It's wrong. Okay, so this card was a misprint. This card was printed like a lot of weird, we lost Pat shit. With a lot of other cards in Red Sun Cycle. This says deal when, hey, you back? Yeah, I hear you.
Am I back? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Nerine 2.0 was printed with deal when brain damage, and technically there's no way to deal damage in Netrunner. You don't deal damage.
That's funny.
So it's errated to do damage, but anyways, this card's not very good. Are you interested in Costco, Eli? Trader Joe's Ichi. So we don't play that. I've never seen that card. Yeah, no, it's for the Red Sand Cycle. Ravana. Really
Ravana,
good.
I think, is a 2 of, maybe.
Oh man, that's one of the best ice.
Yeah, but you don't want it on your first turn.
Why not? This is okay. You res this for free, and it's a 5 strength best bioroid.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. It's great, but like you're mostly putting in cards you want. Like the cards you put in the 3 of are the cards you want. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, sure.
I think it's just the fact that every ice is a bioroid. This thing's busted. If we draw it and it's awkward, maybe not. That card seems fake. Makes me think they didn't send the final version to print with the red sand. Skip on. My conspiracy theory is that, they sent the wrong PDF to print or whatever. That is my claim, because there's a heck of a lot of problems with the cards they printed
with the red sands in general, right? Yeah,
there's a lot of typos and stuff. 2 because it doesn't do much. Oh man, Ravana's so good. This seems a bit too much.
I don't see us taking. What do we? We only have 1 sentry so far.
Yeah, but we haven't got to tier in your boy Vikram.
Yeah, NZ 2.0. But yeah, I'm not sure about this one.
How bad is this one?
I remember facing down HB decks back in the day that were just running sentries. Running like big sentries.
But back in the day, people were playing like MK Ultra, and it was like really hard. Yo, I rewatched the 2015 Canadian Nationals, which we did commentary for, and I haven't watched those videos because, spoilers, I made it to the finals and I lost. And I didn't want to watch that because the games are pretty miserable. I played poorly. But they came on a recommended video because I was working on end cards and stuff, and it came up. And would you believe if I said in the 2015 Canadian Nationals, I played target marketing in an HB deck against Valencia, and I named E3 feedback implants, and it worked.
That's great.
Like, how wild is that?
Man.
That was like the proper
Targeted
play.
marketing.
Targeted marketing for E3 feedback implants against Val. Anyways.
That's really cool.
I still can't get over the Jeeves model bioroids is not a bioroid. Yeah, Mika, all of the lines of bioroids are considered campaigns because a bioroid refers to a singleton, like a unique bioroid. And so like Adonis, Nico, Maryland, they're all campaigns of bioroids. Sherlock is really bad unless the tag is meaningful, then it's okay. Well, yes. Yeah, no, you're right. And like the tag is not that meaningful.
Yeah. Even in the other things are traces.
Yeah.
Tier, I feel like, but I like Tier, of course. But
if we had to play Tier or Fairchild, which one would you rather play?
Between Tier and Fairchild, I'd probably put in Fairchild.
I would argue that
having singleton Tier, even if we never use our ability on it, like resing it as a surprise is valuable.
So the problem with Fairchild is Fairchild end the run.
I was thinking of yeah, you're right.
Tier goofs you up.
Fairchild 3. Yeah, if we're doing the singleton, the uniques, I think I prefer Tier.
Yeah. You know, this deck actually wouldn't be the worst with ganked.
Yeah, people were saying that in chat.
Oh, are they? No, that was my original idea. Protection.
Oh, it was your original idea.
Yeah.
Does ganked work in Jinteki net? In JNet now?
Yeah. It's implemented. So the last bioroids we have are Vikram, which is kind of mediocre because the brain damage doesn't matter. The first subroutine is the one that matter, and it's not a 2.0, so they just click once and then like take brain damage if they really need to. The numbers on it are pretty good though. And then finally Z 2.0, which is also positional, trash hardware in some matchups, does nothing, and then if you draw it early, it's pretty bad. This looks like a bad unsell. Now, there is a big issue here, which is if your deck is only bioroids, it's very hard to do anything aggressive in the early to mid game because they can click through everything. So there is sometimes an idea where you put in things like Gatekeeper or Hagen or even like a Satyr Adaptive Barrier just to have something that ends the run. But I say if we're doing that, you know,
you've already lost.
You've already lost.
If you're giving up on your ID ability.
Yeah, you already lost. So we're not going to do that. So we're going to go and put some agendas in here. There are no bioroid agendas, unfortunately, but there are some agendas. So, okay, another thing that happens a lot of times with Architects of Tomorrow, one of the things that you want to do over anything is you want to give the reason for the runner to run, because they're generally pretty averse to running. And if they are averse to running, you'll never get your value. One of the best things you can do is jam every single turn, because then every single turn you're getting 4 credits of value, assuming that you have ice to res. So I don't want to do the big 5-3s where you jam like 2 agendas and try and win the game or whatever. I want to actually do like 4-2s and stuff.
Yeah. And are there any other cards you want to put in there that force them to run? Like
subliminal messaging is like mediocre. There is a chance that you could play early, but it's hard to protect early. You could play what's that NBN one where you make 3 credits if they don't run it. Play
Daily
for wins
Quest.
games. Yeah, daily quest is like a thing you can do. But I'd argue actually we could just just do regolith mining. Regolith mining is like pretty fine.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that'd be great.
And then we can like jam 4-2s and like, I don't know, seamless launch or whatever. IT department used to be a cool one for this ID. Oh god, IT department is poison.
Ugh. Man.
Austerity is good too. Yeah.
Some friends are asking me to play Age of Empires 3 with them. So see you guys.
Yeah, we've had a good night. Let's see, Pat.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the agendas. So
okay, so you're looking at, I feel like Vitruvius.
I don't know, man. What are we using the token for? Hedge fund?
Well, it's a 3/2. Come on.
Have you seen all the neutral agendas?
Okay.
Have you seen them?
I know that it's good in theory to do all neutral agendas right now, or to do off-world and cyber decks.
We would play Ikawa though.
Yeah, off-world cyber decks and Ikawa.
Yeah, I think that's right. So it's worth noting that there are agendas that work off of bioroids. Ikawa is kind of like a nice one. You can run 3 of these or 2 of these, I forget what the numbers are, and you can do CFC excavation contract, but like look how bad CFC excavation contract is compared to off-world office. For it to be better than off-world office, you need to have 4 res bioroids, which isn't always going to happen.
Which isn't hard in your ID, but the runner's so rarely running anyway. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they don't run a lot. Like, I don't know. This card just seems so much worse than any of the 4-2s that just give you money. If you run Vitruvius, it's for seamless launch, but then you're seamless launching just to get the Vitruvius tokens to get the seamless launch back. Like, That sounds kind of like I built an engine to spin a fan so that my turbine could power the engine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Incredible Machines.
Yeah. But don't get me started on the Incredible Machine.
That's a good game.
That's something that we should be streaming, really.
Okay, so we're 45. So we have to do like 3 and then we run 1 fewer of the 2-pointers. Which one are you more excited about?
Well, Cyberdex works better as a 3 of.
That's true. You have convinced me.
Wow, okay, that was
I have to unconvince you because we have 2 little agendas. Luminal's honestly so Luminal's okay, but Luminal is not better than Sandbox or Off-World Office if we have things like Lacoste or Seamless Launch. I don't think it's better than these.
Yeah.
Running 1 or 2 copies of load testing and AOT can be underrated way of taxing them, especially in combo with MCA. I think what we want to do is, for doing that, is just run an activation command, which I'm going to go ahead and put 3 in the deck. This means that our ice is stronger and they can't click through our ice. We also can do install advanced play this, which is quite something. Luminal's busted. Luminal is busted, but I don't know. Maybe we just need a bit more money. Luminal's not bad. Hedge.
Well, Luminal does work well with Cyberdex too. It can basically be a 4th copy of Cyberdex once you scored the first one.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Sandberg? No. That's not our game. Bioroids are good, but you're still allowed to put an on-bio dice. Yeah, I know. We are. I think we're going to try not to. Luminal and cut an Ikoa? Oh, yeah, wait, we can do that. No, that is actually smart. I do like that a fair bit.
I mean, don't call the audience smart. They're just going to go heads.
They'll never let it...
Like, exactly. They'll just be like, no, the lunatics are running the asylum and so on.
We have too much ice. No, we have 19 ice, honestly. That's not too bad. 9 plus 6, 15, ice. 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, we have 20 ice. So we can cut 2, that's for sure. So we probably end up cutting too many code gates.
Yeah.
We still have to add 10 cards. Now, obviously, we don't have a deck here, so we need to spend our influence. And we want to spend our influence on a defensive upgrade. I think Monogarm Skunkworks is like
for sure.
A given in the list. That seems really good. Now we have to spend the influence. And like it might be really easy just to say Anoetic Void go. Like that's obviously very good. Our ice is pretty good for the cost, and this is the thing that makes it even better. We said we want to be a bit more aggressive, so we probably do play Seamless Launch just to be annoying. But we only have 5 slots left, and we have to spend the influence. Ganked is like okay. It's good for Centrals. Bass Chiraboga doesn't make a lot of sense because we can just install the agenda and it doesn't work with our agenda suite particularly well. MC Austerity is an option, but then we're not jamming. We're like setting up. How is F-Side 2 a mid-texting ice? It's good. It's a good ice. Other options, Embolus. They're not running often. This encourages them to run. This makes our remote really hard to deal with.
True. Oh, Rogue Agent. I wish Offer You Can't Refuse was still legal, but it was rotated out just like a month and a half ago. But when I played Architects Tomorrow, it was definitely an Offer You Can't Refuse deck. Like you will run and help me trigger my ability, or just give me. That was it.
Yo, Aurora, how's it going? Thanks for the timestamps. Hey, welcome. Clearing House. We're not gonna win on Clearing House. Oh, a Spin Doctor. Yeah, we do those. And now we have to spend 7 influence and negative some cards. Okay, what can we do that's unfair? Like it's like Anoetic. Well, let's do Gank because it's fun. Do we do Jinja? I'm not a big fan of Jinja. Like I just don't inherently like Jinja as a card. 2x border control. Border control is honestly probably better than anything else.
Yeah, and 2 of them would tie up our influence nicely.
Oh, we'd have to unganked ourselves. Navi, we don't need Navi Jazz because we have next, ideally.
I feel like we can also... Oh, yeah, because we only have 12 influence. God damn it.
Yeah, 12 influence is not a lot.
Not too bad. So, yeah, I feel like we can drop...
We don't have enough money.
Maybe we have to drop some of the expensive ice.
You mean the 2 credit ice, right?
Yeah, I guess they're technical. Like, no, every now and then we are going to be rezzing ice for full price. We have to admit,
and that's a problem. It's like we didn't put in what's it called, daily quest. We didn't put in that other one, the
Yeah.
Regolith Mining. We don't have enough economy in the deck. The deck has Hedge Fund and Rashida and NGO Fund. That's it. That's obviously way not enough. We need to fix the economy of the deck.
Okay, so let's put some Regolith in and work from there. And we do have to cut some ice for sure, because we're still at 20.
Yeah. Would something like Regolith compel them to run? Yeah, I hope so, Chris. In the teamwork, the Team Covenant videos, they never ran Regolith. Oh my god, you got to run Regolith. You can't let the Corp have a 12 credit card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what are we cutting? Nano etching, we don't have a remote for it. Like, this idea with this is we put in a remote server. Nano etching is like not good against a lot of things that can, like Amaku or I don't know what else. This card is generally just not as good as something you put in the remote, because we're gonna have to overinstall in our remote. Yeah, building a bunch of remotes is kind of cool in this. It's kind of cool, right? Because yeah.
I feel like dropping one on cell. And maybe
how about we drop a brand, because we have a lot of barriers.
Yeah, that's true. Let's drop a brand and maybe a Fairchild too.
I added a Fairchild too and I cut a Ravana.
Oh well, now we're cutting Ravanas. That's kind of funny. Huh.
We still have an influence problem. Like, that has to be addressed. Do we cut the Embolus because we can't afford it? We still have to cut one more card if we do that.
Oh yeah, influence. I forgot Embolus is like a consistent tax.
Yeah. Let's see what it draws like, okay? So if we draw here, this is our opening hand. And honestly, Loki on its own, kind of bad. Border control on its own, not the worst. So if we don't top deck a Seamless Launch, this hand is pretty rough. Yeah, that's a pretty bad hand. Okay, this is... Oh, that's bad. Okay, here we have a hand.
Well,
and this looks like a good Bioroid deck already, doesn't it? Border control, Rashida, Hedge Fund, that's our Asa list. Draw 4. Oh, we're off to the races. So you do Eli, Ravana. You probably just do Eli, Sabbath. Yeah, this looks not good. Oh boy. Unganked yourself? Yeah, I think we probably do unganked ourselves, but I think we un-embolus ourselves first because we can't afford it.
Drop one ganked, one embolus.
Would we drop one Spin Doctor and add a sprint instead? Or just drop one Spin Doctor? Yeah, it's fine. Spin Doctor is really good with Jinja. Maybe we should just do Jinja. It's an econ card.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's nice.
Do we want to just become what we hate?
The thing is, like, we were going to build something nice. Are we trying to win, or are we trying to do...
No, we were trying to build an Architects Tomorrow deck.
Next activation deck. Now we're up to 53 cards.
Yo, Jogging, how's it going? Honestly, I kind of really like the next because it like lets you really aggressively jam behind ice that does not classically end the run.
Yeah, I think it's really cool in this deck. Like, I'm certainly convinced of its utility.
Oh, Sprint is quite good with Jinja. Sprint is kind of really nice with Jinja.
Yeah. But now we're building a different deck.
Well, no, we're just building a Jinja Architects deck.
Okay. But and we can cut back on our ice a little bit more since we're going to be like drawing a lot and installing it for free, right?
I don't know about that because you want more ice if you play Jinja.
Yeah, but I feel like we can afford to go down to like 17 safely.
So 14, 15, 16. We're only at 18. Like, we can't cut. Like, we're going to have a problem. If we cut one ice, we're still kind of way too hard. Red level's money, yeah, but it's just not enough for a slot. There's a big chance that Regolith is too slow.
But I think you have a good point that it does force a run.
Yeah, but nobody runs a Jinja remote, right? Brain taping rotated Diogene. Government subsidy, 1 influence? Yeah, I just don't know if we're going to have the 10 credits. We're going to struggle to have 10 credits. Oh, I need to move my face. Sorry. It's not a good place to put it. Beans. Let's cut hedge funds, man. Hansei? Hansei is like really hard to play with Jinja because you don't have a lot of cards in hand. It's really, really, really hard. Red level, 1 credit. Sounds so good. Okay, what are we cutting?
Oh, man.
Okay, so we need to like really cut stuff. Let's see what it draws like and go from there. Want to go for 3 corporate sales teams? Off-world office and sandbox. Sorry?
Yeah. I was just thinking about like, do we need all the NGOs? Rashida works with Jinja, of course, but
Want to go for 3 corporate sales team? Well, it doesn't really work with our agenda suite, right? Like Sandbox and Off-World Office are generally better than that. And then we'd have to cut Ikwa, and then we add more cards to the deck because we're trading 3s for 2s. This hand is fine. Like you would do hedge fund, you would just ice up centrals. And then from here you could sprint. And then you have a Jinja. It's not amazing. -1 seamless? Yeah, actually no. We could probably cut a lot of seamlesses. We could cut 1 seamless because we have Jinja. We're probably okay.
Yeah, a lot of seamless. Okay, well now we're at 54 cards. Now we just have to change our agendas a little bit and maybe we can do this.
You want to play 50? No, we can't play 54 with Jinja. You need to draw Jinja so early. It really incentivizes you to play a small deck.
Yeah, true.
Do we cut a next? Or M Campa better than Regolith? What is M Campa jogging? Slot Machine would help you a bit. They're not going to run a lot. Like Slot Machine is good if it's pretty taxing, but our ice is already really taxing. And we can't ensure that it's going to fire. Have you considered Bass? Yeah, Bass doesn't make a lot of sense with their agenda suite. Like it doesn't help us score any of these. We don't have a remote for it.
Is Nico campaign better than Regolith?
No.
If we're using draw? No? Okay.
The thing is, like, one of the cool things about Regolith mining license is that, in theory, Jinja does a lot of the stuff we want to do on our turn anyway, so we'll have clicks for it. With Nico, like, we Jinja our turn, and then we just do credit, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
If they're on botchas, the Spin Doctor recycle the next commands. Yeah, we don't need 2 or 3 of them, that's for sure. We don't need it in our opening hand. Even though it would be nice to do this in our opening hand. Do we cut Monogarms? Monogarm seems good. What about if we just cut Ganked and put in another border control? That doesn't really help slots, but it helps influence.
Yeah.
Like it uses our influence better. Man, this seems really bad. So
I'm in favor of cutting Ganked for control. Maybe going down to 1 Managarm.
Cut Ganked for border control?
Yeah, and then going down to maybe 1 Managarm or even none, because like we've got a lot of defense. We've got like next activation command plus ice is incredibly powerful.
Yeah, it just unfortunately this looks like one of the strongest cards. Yeah, it seems like so strong in the archetype, right? Because it punishes them no matter which way they go.
Yeah.
Rashida's really good, that's for sure. We can maybe cut 1 NGO. Yeah, if we bait them into the remote with NGO though, it's so good. Oh man, this is hard. Skunk you want 2x at least. Yeah, Skunk seems really good. We can't cut ice. We have to cut Regolith and just see how it goes. Biovol would be good bait. Yeah, but we're not going to advance anything. And it's not bait, right? Like they know what it is. And if they run it and it's just that, we should have NGO'd. Okay, we'll cut it. And then we have to still cut some cards. The thing is, like, there's a chance, and there's a big chance in a Jinja deck you do want to run just 5/3.
Okay, so let's cut
Yeah, gone. Cut an FC2.
So
no.
I think so. Okay.
Cut a Regolith and Ganked for a daily quest. Oh yeah, we can play a daily quest in the slot. It's a 1 of. Oh man. So deck building on stream is so hard. It takes such a long time to figure this out and make that make those sort of like, you know how you have to just kind of keep weathering at yourself until you give up on your dreams. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's how adulthood works.
That's how adulthood works.
Yeah, maybe just go down to 1 NGO. We'll try it like this.
Our deck has not enough economy. We need all the money we can get.
Not enough economy. I'm looking at not much. I don't know. I think cut the NGOs.
I think we cut the sprints.
Maybe cut both the sprint in a Jinja deck.
Yeah, we have 3 spin doctors.
You sicken.
We have 3 spin doctors. What can you do?
I guess so.
And I hear you. Like a lot of people are saying that like cut the gank. The end's better to be to play a 1 of daily quest, but the chance of you drawing it is like so unlikely in your opening hand, and you need it in your opening hand. Like, I don't think I'm excited to play daily quest unless we play 2 of it, because the time we need is early. Could get sprint and predict a planogram? Yeah, planogram actually is a better use of influence, but honestly, planogram would be fine, but like slots. We need to make a slot for planogram.
Yeah.
You want to just try this and see how bad it is?
I do.
What are we calling this? Dr. Robotnik, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. Call me crazy, but I'd rather not have sprint than doctor in this deck. You might not be wrong. The thing is, like, spin doctor is just good for putting our economy back in our deck, but I totally hear you. So we're gonna go view. I'm gonna just update the deck list on what's it called? On the app. So if you're watching on what's it called? On desktop.
On Twitch.
On Twitch. You should be able to see the deck list eventually. It just takes a second to refresh. From my understanding, it might not work. Okay. So what's a bad matchup? Reina.
Damn it. She got us again. Well, no, Reina's not bad because we're resing 2 ice for the price of 1.
Yeah, but resing our first 7 costers is going to be a problem. Yeah, you just res 1 and then you just like brave the storm. It's a Haas bioroid architects tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Let's see how bad this is. So it's kind of like an AOT deck I tried to make for startup. How'd it go? Because AOT I don't think is particularly... Like, the dream is you get to the late game, and that's the idea of why you want to play 5/3s. And we're trying to put a more aggressive AOT. Like, I think you want to play a really glacier late game AOT, ice up everything with 3 ice, and then eventually start jamming. Why not GFI? Because Ikaba looks really good in faction in this ID.
Yeah, like, yes, if they steal a GFI, it's not worth much to them, but there's a very good chance they never are able to steal the Ikawa because of our ice. So, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Divert power would slot nicely in this? Why? We res our ice cheaply anyways, no? Like, I don't think you put a divert power in your deck just to get extra draw from Jackson. Or, sorry, what's it called? I've seen some cool divert power plays, though. I was watching a bit of Lockdown, and in Spark, people were, like, divert powering to re-res Spin Doctor, which is really good, and Pop-Up Window, and, like, Keegan Lane to re-res stuff. And it's really good also with Ping. You get on to 15 ice with the draw power, sprint, and spin doctor. Yeah, Rogue, there's a chance that maybe we can play fewer ice, but with the Jinja deck, it just feels really wrong, but I get it. I lost heart to my friend playing Reina. Yeah, Reina gets no value unless she runs often. That's totally true. Oh, hey, bud.
Hey, how's it going?
So, that's true. We're thinking on GFI to replace 2 small agendas because you have 1 influence. Yeah, the thing is, like, if we do GFI, we'd have to drop the real 5/3s because playing real 5/3s and GFI kind of... somewhat makes the GFI benefit of them having to steal 4 agendas not a thing. I feel like I'm missing a lot of chat. If you're bluffing with Seamless, then Quest is a no-go. Yeah, exactly. If we want to jam every turn, then Quest doesn't seem amazing. All right, David, what up? Just 1 GFI, but 1 GFI doesn't seem good. Thanks for all the cool Netrunner content. Yo, Soviet Lovehammer, how's it going? Still slowly making my way through your 8-hour gateway stream. That's a lot of fun. Also, the review series is super helpful as a newbie. Would love some more of the commentating replays. I have replays that people have very kindly sent to me, and I need to email them and say thank you and then do stuff with the replays. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, the other videos right now we're doing, the long form, like 2-hour videos, do take a while to like script and then edit and then release. So we got to do that first. Cold side server. Oh, man, cold side server is cool. That we are. Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with that gateway stream. Like I kind of want to go every now and then on JNet. I'll find someone who's playing like gateway only, and I'm like, constructed, please, because that was fun. But no, they're always like starter decks, which I still play with them.
Yeah, they're still really fun. It'd be ours to get our butt kicked. I mean, not a lot of confidence in this one. I missed the Reina games. How did it go? Mediocre. We just like didn't have access to breakers, and they scored behind double Enigma because Ute is kind of rubbish. And our econ was not good. But in the first game against P, we just like ran everything, and that worked out. Engram Flush, IP Block. The problem, with those cards is like those are taxing ice. It's good if they're running often, but a lot of times against Architects Tomorrow, people are like super hesitant running often. So this hand's not great, Pat. We're gonna mulligan that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
How do we keep drawing Loki and no ice? That's incredible.
Oh no. They don't have to know that.
They'll never know. Money or the Jinteki card? Yeah, it's really hard to play Hansei Review jogging because we're playing Jinja and everything in our hand is going to be like a bit too good. Oh man, we got Loki cursed. Draw.
Oh no.
Hedge fund doctor.
Hedge fund doctor, really?
Yeah, and then you can throw out the 2 agendas.
Oh, true.
I guess we'll do this first. We should have done that instead of drawing anyways. Yeah, that's exactly what you want.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
I hope they don't smash. Did I miss something? No, Andre. Not Andre, but I do have some reviews here. UTV Sangren. If you have some startup gateways. Oh, excuse me, Sangren. I thought you meant like reviews of cards.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sangren, we've been plugging his channel a fair bit, but he put up a game today that was specifically, or not today, I think it was like yesterday. It was specifically like the Valencia Wildcat deck versus like Asa good stuff. This is going to be good for them, especially if they hit the NGO or the Rashida. Please Loki. Ah, no.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Consume, okay. So they want to get accesses. That's a 5 influence card. The ordering for this was unfortunate. You probably want to install this first before accessing.
Yeah, we're already ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to install the Jinja and then draw.
Yes.
Well, I mean, res draw.
Yes.
All right, well, this is nearly unbreakable.
Okay.
Nigh unbreakable, this one.
If they run it, oh man, this is painful.
Yo, Hammer saying, hit me up, Pat. I'm happy to play Constructed Gateway Startup. It's still too big and scary.
Oh, yeah. That'd be fun.
All right, we're off to a roaring start in our, I think, 18 ice HB deck. This is very, very not good. They did flip, so they're getting that draw. They're digital, so I'm like really worried of them getting DreamNet down. Ugh. They just got it. So now every run is like a credit and a card, and they actually need to run archives first just to get the agendas that are in here back into the deck. Our opening was like really clumsy. Accessing R&D while 4 points are out of the game is like not ideal. They trashed a second Rashida. At least that's not ice. And they botulist our Loki. All right, next, let's go.
Well, one of these days, botulist will.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Yeah, good.
Do we ever just jam into Geofront?
Now would be a good time to do it, I think.
You think?
Yeah, force them to help us res stuff.
But then we res the on-sell, and then we res the Loki.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of money. I don't know. I think we want to bait a run with this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's do it. Pop the spin doctor and let's go.
But I don't think they'll run it when they're on 2 credits and they know this is an on sell here. Because if anything, they have to click first, and then they just click through this, and then this does nothing. Well, actually, no, it doesn't do nothing. You're right, but like
it does do something. Also, can you use? I don't think you can use clicks on Loki.
No, they can't.
Wait, what did you do?
I goofed up. I forgot about these. I overinstalled. What? Oh, here we go. Yeah, and the thing is, like, if we res this first, the Loki has more subroutines, yeah. Hedge install single advance? I like the double advance. Like, I'd like to have the hedge in hand. Like, we're not forced to play it. We can still res the on-sell. Unless they, like, tread lightly. And even then, we could, like, pop NGO front res. And then they have to pass this. That's, like, a cool thing about having ice in your deck that doesn't end the run. Because if they run to an Eli, they might just, like, let the end run fire. And Architects only fires if they pass it. So cards like on-sell are actually kind of well-positioned.
Yeah, true. They can't help but passing it once they encounter it.
Yeah. Thanks, Metric. I swear I'm not fishing for plugs. No, you Sangren, but you're right. I want to let someone ask for replays. No, that's exactly it. I don't mind it in the slightest. They threw out a Hippo, which is honestly incredibly strong against bioroids that you can inherently click through.
Yeah. Yeah, res, pop it.
I think we do draw Managarm Office because we have Seamless in hand.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's better. Right? And we're just hoping that we win off of the remote before they win off of the Essentials.
Yeah, I guess so. That doesn't feel great.
This is the problem with Jinja decks. Like, if they install Stargate, maybe we have a problem. Maybe. It's really cool to see how much Spin Doctor's making R&D get more valuable over the course of the game. Yeah, it is. It's way more ripe. DreamNet, draw a card, gain not a credit because they're not digital. Once they access a turn, they'll flip. Get a card and a credit in total. Oh, wow. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Do we still have 3 or just 2? Just one.
We just have 2.
Just 2 of those.
And they paid 4 for that, and they have 4 credits on consume. So it's not coming back for a bit, but it's really good, obviously, with Botulus. Because this card says they can't use it. And then they also can't click through bioroids because the click abilities are on the bioroids. Consume, gain 4?
Yeah.
Oh man, we're gonna eventually be able to purge here. They tread no lightly this remote. It's gonna be really rough. Oh, they're just clicking for credits. Okay, so we drew border control. We'll take it. We're precision design, right? We're gonna get this back.
Hate to break it to you.
God, Jinja decks are so boring though. This is like, you don't do anything. You just jam whatever you top deck. And maybe that's actually a good reason to have Sprint in your deck because, well, we'll put 1 ice on R&D.
We really should. I think the next few ice we get should go D or HQ.
Mixes I like Jinja and Whale into Election Day. Sometimes you hit like 3 or 4 ice. I'm a coward.
Oh,
I've never done
yeah.
that. But I feel like with Sprint and Spin Doctor, you might not have to go that hard and play something that's like so scary. NPC order arrived in my city today. Definitely going to pick it up as soon as I finish working. Hell yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's like so cool to have cards in person. They also trashed Spin Doctor and didn't see the next card, so they're not R&D locking us. So anything we draw here, we don't put that on R&D, do we? Yeah, I think we do.
I think that's fine on R&D this time.
Do we draw last click? Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good. These are really good abilities. That's a really good subs. The Botulus on the inside here is now real ripe. Hopefully we get a sandbox off, and we still have the Mana Garm, so like I don't know how they run through border control Eli on cell.
I don't think they do. I think that server is locked off. Unless they have like Tread Lightly.
Yeah, but even then, like
even then, like because of our ability, yeah.
Oh man. We really need a sandbox. Nob Curie is down, okay. So that gives them either credits right now or Botulus. Let's zoom out one. Yo, I don't know if I said hi, Obsidian. How's it going? Border control. I think server one's good enough. We put that on R&D, right?
I think so, yeah.
It also protects our Ansel from Hippo. This is unique. Get an agenda. Okay, we can't score it out, but at least it's in there. You can run the sprints and spin doctors too. Gives you a ton of control over where your agendas are. And when you're drawing like 7 cards a turn, you always have extra ice for R&D. Yeah, no, it's really good. You have full control over HQ. And that's why this Dockland, I've said this so often on the stream, but Dockland's Pass is a really good HQ card. We said this in the criminal review, but like knowing when to play it. Like if I had an agenda, would it go into the remote? 100%. So like the pressure here in HQ is not, I don't think fantastic. Unless they want, you know, Nob Curie counters.
That's true, because there's no reason we'd ever in HQ at this point.
It's still worth running because of Nob Curie and DreamNet, like that's for sure. It's technically worth 3 credits in a card, and Hoshiko, right? But yeah, you don't need the multi-access here.
Should we just install the Mana Garm over HQ just to frustrate them sometimes? Because like,
well, then they can trash it if we don't res it, and then they get consume. I don't know if that's worth it because they pay 3 to get 2. But you know what I mean? They'll imp it eventually. Fairchild. Server's still looking pretty good. I'm going to do advance hedge fund just so we can jam whatever we get. And this is going to be good birch.
Oh, apparently David MC7 is Francophone. So we can both practice our friendship.
No way. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, Omar. We did not respect that in the slightest. So Rebirth lets you change into any standard legal identity within faction. So just about everyone becomes Omar eventually in Anarch, and now they're saying the top of R&D. They also didn't trash the Jinja, which kind of makes sense because I don't think they're ever going to run R&D proper. But this purge here is going to be phenomenal if it goes off.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, they goofed it. Oh, that's why that they didn't trash the Jinja. I don't know if they will trash the Jinja, but they forgot to hit the Omar button. So they're accessing DreamNet. APOC incoming. No, I don't think it's an APOC list. Nob Curie, Dockland's Pass, consume. No, it doesn't seem like it. But yeah, you're right. They trashed it. I'm surprised about that because I don't think they're ever going to run R&D. And this is good too why we double advance this. Is we can score this. It looks like an Ikawa, and then we can like ice up archives. And this is going to be a huge purge. Oh my god, it's hitting 14 virus counters.
God, this would be great. I love this. Ooh, and that'll be nice to put over archives, I guess.
Yeah. It's so hard to play viruses with sandbox around. All right, our ability has fired 7 times so far this game. We've made 28 credits. This is the problem with architects, man. They just don't run. Imp coming down. They're gonna trash some stuff. Do you think
we really need?
Was the original art, you think, on Imp somebody in an electric chair or somebody just sitting real cool?
It certainly feels like an electric chair.
Yeah. Oh, they wiped our whole hand. They Mana Garm trashed and Imp trashed.
Oh wow.
I mean, if you don't run, they just lose. Yeah, I know. We can't complain, but we actually do have enough money to res. We just jam anything we got. We probably should have actually gingered that. Install. We'll draw because we can install agenda if we have it. And this is the winning agenda. So they have like 2 turns to figure out how to get into here. And the thing about, though, it's worth knowing about Ikawa is that they don't have to steal it. They can always just imp it. They'll always be able to imp with Nobkiri imp as long as it's their first run turn. Architect's ability made them never run. Seems pretty strong. It's okay. The thing is, like, if we afforded the ice, they would also never run. Oh, they going for it.
Okay, interesting.
Let's lose all our money. Can they even break this? Yeah, they have Paperclip in the bin. They have MK Ultra. They actually can't break Code Gates. But Code Gates we don't have. Oh, they actually can't even break all of Loki. We're just going to res everything. I'm not even
like, this is going to tax them. Like, I don't know. I have a feeling they won't be able to get in here.
Yeah, and then obviously we can always border control. Oh, they lost clicks. So as long as they... So, yeah, we'll res this.
Yeah, make them encounter it, but then just pop the border control at the worst moment.
Well, if they don't have 5 credits, they can't access because of Mana Garm, so I don't even care, I don't think.
True.
Forgot the on-sell. Yeah, they had full information of all what this ice is besides the innermost, which is the one they care the least about. They also could have jacked out in theory once they saw it. You can jack out if you want. Yeah, they can jack out here, because in theory we get the res once they pass, but after they pass, they can choose to jack out. Yeah, VK, yeah, they totally can jack out. Because this is when they pass. So this is on sell, which they're hitting. It's really big. It's also really awkward, because if they want to break all of it, it's 6 credits. So they can only break... Actually, they can't even break it. It fires. Because this has to boost twice. It still just fires. You want to just jack out, though? Okay, cool. You have to bin the MK. Yeah, they're just gonna jack out. So they'll bin the MK because they didn't encounter. Cool. All right, so obviously here we double advance, and then they still have to respect Eli. Do we put on server 1? I don't see why not. It costs us 1 credit. Oh, not even. And how much money do we need? We need 6, 7, 8. To res everything, we need 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we just click for a credit here. All right, ability fired once, but boy, was it good. I've had worse. Dirty Laundering HQ, gonna see both our cards. Gonna get a counter. There's no way they're getting in. Yeah, no, there's no way they're getting in. If anything, they may be Omar for 1, but they need 7 points in the turn. Stimback is not legal anymore. Yeah, Stimback also just gets border controlled anyways. They had a really aggressive rig, right?
That's got 2 quits left.
Like, they had a good aggressive rig. The problem is, like, super server. Oh my god. I haven't realized how much better Jinja looks now with, like, Spin Doctor and Sprint and all that.
Yeah, true. There's a lot of easy draw in the game.
Yeah. Red level would really smooth your deck out. It would not. It's not worth a slot.
GG.
Good game. Man, that's a bummer. They don't run. You don't get your ability, and that's kind of the point. And like, I think trying to figure out never stood a chance. Oh, you had good pressure. They had an early imp or Stargate. Could have done some real damage. Yeah, that's hard. Take that low-key curse, yeah. The low-key, the backbone of this super server. Corp credits gained 38. Not great. Hey, you too. Merci. I don't even know how to say thanks for the game in French. Merci pour le jeu. That doesn't sound right.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, how do you say thanks for the game in French?
And you can trigger Jinja on the runner's turn to install ice in the server they're running. I think by then it's too late fully. Like, once they choose a server, they immediately go to the first ice, and by then it's too late to install something like that they will encounter. You can still install ice on that server mid-run,
Wait,
but they would never encounter it.
Yeah, because when they make a run, they approach the outermost ice. So yeah, that's a good point. Merci pour la partie. C'est
Oh, that
quoi
makes sense.
ça?
Merci.
Oh, juste
Merci.
merci. C'est quoi la partie? Merci le game. That honestly would be fine. Maybe lateral growth. RLC has to be better. Lateral growth also seems weird because the only things we're installing are in remotes. Maybe that's not the worst. Yeah, I don't know how the interaction works. What happens if mid-run you fire Jackson? I don't think you'll encounter it. I feel like you're approaching that ice and you can't be pushed backwards. But you're right. Once they start setting up, like if they install a boomerang, then you can goof them and res Spin Doctor. At least that would be in Quebecois. Yeah, that's wild. So, Gene, how often when you play on JNet do you play in French versus English? Like, I reckon it's hard to figure out who speaks what language here. There are language servers in chat. I just think they're like generally pretty empty. Not that the chat here is that popular. If you go to français. Oh, never mind.
Oh, from as recently as just 2 days ago.
Good,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, sick. Never mind.
That's good.
But in interactive Taylor, I play in French. Oh, of course, yes. If I saw Taylor, I would definitely open in French. Then apologize my way out of it when I got stuck. We already tight on slots. What would a card with 2 credits like lateral growth get one? Yeah, that's the issue though. It's just slots. It's like 100% slots. We need really impactful cards for slots. And so far, next activation, we haven't seen it. Like abstractly, it's impactful when they install a Botulus, but it's weird. It's cool though that it is a card that will stay in hand pretty consistently with Jinja, and then you just like hopefully play it when necessary. I think they'd have to encounter the new ice. I don't know, VK. What's the timing structure there? That's like super fascinating.
I feel like they don't. I think as soon as the run has begun, it's too late to install ice that they can encounter.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Because when you make a run, the first thing is, okay, Nisei has a timing structure page. Oh no. Nisei learn to play. This is on the bottom of their learn to play page. There's a run timing guide. Okay, initiation phase. That's narrative. The first step is making runs for the runner to announce which server they are running against. A run can be initiated either via basic abilities with a card ability. Card ability is a run. Once the target server is known, the runner has to make their way towards the server. If there's ice protecting server, the runner approaches the outermost ice. Yeah, so I don't think you could do it. There's no like paid ability window within the initiation phase. I don't know. We're still waiting on the rules document, mind you. Oh, Jinja is like pretty good against 419. The problem is like we're weak to diversion. Thanks, you too. Okay, so we have an early Jinja. We have a border control. So we can install we just probably install the Jinja, install border control, put a piece of ice on HQ. Or do we just keep the Jinja in hand till next turn?
I think Jinja's.
I think you keep Jinja like 100% of the time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I'm just wondering, do you install it? I think so.
But then we can't defend it, right? Like we're not gonna res it.
Yeah, we're not gonna res until next turn. No.
The stuff with Lethea and say it does. I think we just keep this. We hope we top deck a gamble. Like, I don't know. Let's see what we top deck. Tier, that's not a good start. Don't Ansel HQ. Why not? It's not good in the early game. I think we'd Fairchild HQ if anything, and then our remote will be like Ansel into border control.
Yeah.
The thing about like specifically about architects is like it really incentivizes you into to installing multiple cards a turn. So do we ever? What do we do here? Credit, install an HQ, pay a credit? That seems really bad. Because we don't want to show what's on HQ. That's like the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, I think we have to. I think we credit, install, and avoid the expose.
Well, okay, wait. Maybe there's a chance that we do credit, install, and we show them that there's like an on-sell in R&D. Because that's one of the best things we can do is have 2 bioroids on the table.
Yeah, true.
Oh, oops. Right? But they know that we can't res this in theory. Yeah, so this is like not great in the early game. There's only one subroutine that matters if they run this click 1. And if they run this, the threat is that this is something that we can res for 4 or less. But we are weak to like HQ pressure because a lot of the bioroids you can click through. But diversion is a double, so it does make it a bit trickier. In theory, this is good because they can't diversion through it without any sort of breaker support. Citadel, oh, that's kind of scary. That's a good start for them. So Citadel means they might be on rogue trading.
Trading for sure. Yeah.
They might be on what's that? Credit kiting.
Yep.
Nexus, even Nexus will be a problem for us.
Hot Pursuit.
Yeah. We could do Ginger Jackson, right?
Yeah, that seems right.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're gonna res it right now. It doesn't matter.
Okay. So we'll do Fairchild on the outside because it's cheaper. And I think we have to just click for credit.
Credit for sure.
Yeah.
To prevent a doof.
I think the Jinjin solve via Spin Doctor fails because there's no paid ability window until the first ice encounter. Yeah, I think so. Oh, there's actually, I think there's ability windows on approach. But it's the same problem, right? So they know exactly what this is. They know how much money we have. Now, the cool thing is if they run server 1, we can res a Fairchild, and then we can still res a 6 creditor. Oh, they're just clicking for credit. Sports Hopper. Ooh, yeah, that does kind of look Nexus-y, doesn't it? Ravana on the outside is not great. I think we just put that in archives for Amakua.
Yeah, that's a good point. I like that. Yeah.
We draw once for hedge fund, nailed it, and then we install it in archives, and they can know what it is. Because we want to stop them from DreamNetting or Amakuing or whatever. Yeah, definitely Nexus deck. Yeah, it screams like Nexus. Yeah, there you go. There's DreamNet. That's why we want to ice up everything. And this Ravana res is honestly fine for us because once they pass it, like then we get a res like this for free or cheap.
Yep.
So it's only up for that long. And we're on 5 credits though, so we can't res Fairchild. Diversion actually is really good right now. Maybe we're 1 credit short here. Maybe we wanted to res this Fairchild actually. Resing this Fairchild honestly would have been better because then we can do the, oh yeah, resing this Fairchild would be way better because then we can deal the remote with no money. Oh no, we still need 2 credits, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, well there we go. Interesting. Not getting full value off the spin dock.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's a tragedy is what that is.
This screams NGO front.
I know.
I'm just gonna res it. Oh, I can't believe we spent a credit on that.
I can't believe you spent money on that. It's so obviously not agenda.
So we're playing around diversion here. Yeah, they have rogue trading, so we need to keep our credits up. Hold on, before they end their turn, I'll pop this. So we actually can stick the tag on them because we'll have more money than them. So 7 to 9, we can spend all their money to bring down their shit, thinking this is probably terrible and you don't want to do it, but. Kill the spin dock for that? No, it was good. It was good. It was good. We should have been on 11 credits here, but 7, 8, 9. So we have to spend 1. We have to spend
but
all the money. It's not good.
Yeah, it's not worth it. But trashing that Citadel would be nice.
Oh, that's good. Do we want to keep an Amakua token off? I think so.
Yes.
Okay, that's what we want. I think we're popping a spin doctor.
Can't believe it. Oh man, those poor spin doctors.
That's exactly what we wanted. Those are the best 2 cards I think we could have drawn there. Don't do this?
Yeah.
No, yeah, we won't play
Center
Trace. Yeah. So what was happening there? Citadel Sanctuary says at the end of the turn, they do a trace 1 to successfully remove the tag. So if we have a lot of money, in theory, that's not a safe thing to do. And they're still going to be pretty slow because they're going to get their Nexus down eventually, but they still have the rogue trading, which is half their turn. I feel like you should have just overinstalled the first spin doctor and then recurred them with the second. Yeah, but we didn't know we were going to get a second. Like we got the worst of that, obviously.
Okay.
And we're drawing those hedge funds. Yeah, here we go.
Next time.
And I think we're in an okay spot to like eventually ice them up. Like Amakua is really hard in this matchup when all our ice is pretty good because we have no ice that's low strength. Falsified credentials. Oh, they guessed upgrade. Yeah, that makes sense. I think we res this.
Yeah, that's fair.
We should have probably pre-res that anyways.
That.
It's unique. This makes it weak to Paul up, but not entirely. 10 credits to trash the Citadel, but they can't use rogue trading for the rest of the game. No, they can. They just clear the tag manually. And they definitely have 2 or 3 Citadels. I don't think it's amazing. Okay, I'm worried about Doof. Now they can run in for sure. So I'm gonna do Hedge Fund, Rashida Server 1, and then we have to double ice HQ because they're basically gonna trace to get a run for DreamNet and get Amaku counter. So we have to double ice all centrals.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't want to do the tier on HQ because we'll never res the tier.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, we do want to save the border control. At the same time, border control is solid on HQ to avoid doofs and embezzles.
Border control on Doof is really bad. Like they already can get through this with Amakua. Popping a border control just to stop a Doof, I don't think it's worth it. I think we just do this. And we never want to res tier. Maybe for 6, but with Nexus, it's like a viability. Yeah, this is what's going to happen. That's fine. So if we res the Fairchild, the benefit is that we res another ice. And I think that's worth it.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. We get some value with this.
Yeah. And they have to Nexus this, which means they end up spending like what? Still 2 credits. Sick. But this is really good for them. And they know this ice. They also know this is a Brawn. So I don't know how they deal with this remote. Like border control is just way too good on the remote against Nexus because they can't use the Nexus. They can only use it once a turn. Class Act. Nice. They access the tier. Hopper Suit gain 9. God, that's so good. There's so much value in here.
Pretty good.
Clickless tag removal. DreamNet gets a card and a credit.
It's okay. We're going to be making money any day now.
We like the biggest issue here is eventually the Amakua. Like every turn Amakua gets a counter.
Yeah.
Earthrise, okay. Putting tier on HQ isn't too bad if you can't res it for 6. It's not great considering we only have 6 credits. Like it's not what we want to do now. Maybe eventually.
Interesting.
I think we do.
I think we do one of the Eli's.
Yeah. We do one of the Eli's and then we double ice centrals. And this gets around 419, which is nice. I think we actually do pay for this just because Amaku is a problem. And so we're committing to purge sometime soon.
Yeah.
Maybe not. None.
Yeah.
No. So we'll do Eli Fairchild. Credit.
Yeah.
I wish we had something to jam. We'll draw once. No. So go
Eli over HQ.
I don't know. Double Fairchild HQ looks nice. They'll eventually have a Mina though. That's for sure. I want to keep out the what's it called? It's the Hopper Suits at any cost.
I'm also thinking about strength though. Like Ansel and Eli are at the same strength. Whereas like getting the strength to 5 on R&D might be valuable. Maybe.
The difference between 4 and 5 though is pretty massive. Yeah, we need to ice everything up. We need to get 2 ice on here, and then eventually we need to find a second to purge. But we haven't been diversioned yet, and that's like obviously the biggest problem here. Oh, but free value, that seems kind of nice.
Yeah, for sure. What value do we use? Either way, we might be losing something.
Bravado gains 7. Jesus. There's a credit kiting. There you go. Yeah, this is a huge issue. The Fairchilds are now like 4 to break, 1 to we lose 1, and they have 20 credits right now. Archivist, another link.
Oh,
I don't even know what the distribution of our agendas are, whether we have initiatives or securities. Well, that's obviously what we need. The question is, we can res this, we can res this. No, we can't. And they break this for 2 credits. Like Fairchild 2 looks like shit. Nah, this is really bad. I think we draw. We ice archives credit.
I guess so.
No, I don't think so, because we purge next turn.
Yeah, I guess it won't matter too much.
Yeah.
Ugh, this doesn't feel great though.
No, this is hard. Nexus is really good. So like we definitely have to purge. If they steal this, it's okay. Yeah, this is fine. Because we can just res all our centrals. But the problem is that they might go and trash a remote here. I think it's the right play. Yeah, this is not good because now they can deal with the remote. But there's nothing we res on the remote that can keep them out of the remote. Oh, shoot. And now at least we don't have money to lose. Mary right now, it's just the 1x ticking. Sorry? They hit a Fairchild 3.
Mary right now, just the 1x. ticking.
Install over shuffle back for jam. I'm not sure I follow. Bait them in. If they have break FC2, then just res Brawn for 2 credits. Yeah, but they're gonna be on strength soon. Oh, that's not great with Eli on the outside. Yeah, they're just bouncing now. So they're just basically with a turning wheel running R&D. Oh man, we have to purge here. And then we're doing nothing. Oh man, we are gutted. This is the AOT problem. Maryland?
Yeah, I think we purge and hope we get...
Yeah, but the problem is we can't res Brand if we had 2 more credits. Because they're just going to run archives here. Or actually, probably they just run HQ, right? They spend 8. We lose 1. That's not good. But they're just going to bounce R&D, I think. They're just going to turning wheel R&D. Yeah, this is the architect's problem, so we don't have proactive plans. Whoa! Thunder Art! Cool. So cool!
Oh, that's very cool. Quicklist installs with Citadel.
Yeah, -1. Really daily caster too. Damn! That is so cool.
This is kind of what we want.
Yeah.
Install, right. Let them see it, and if they run, then we just get value out of it, right?
We'll res it. Yeah, in theory, but we can't res much here.
Excuse me.
We're gonna lose our 1 credit though, and we're gonna lose it before once they break everything. So we actually can't res anything here.
Ah, darn. Oh, that's really sad.
So and now sad. They know. Well, they already knew what this is. Like we did not consider that. That's so bad, because we lost a credit because of Amina, excuse me. Yeah, man. We don't have anything unfair enough for this to go through. Oh, you can't even see the Thunder Right. Sorry, we have to move our faces. They hit a Monogarm. They trash that, so they don't get Amakua counter. That's honestly pretty good for us. Jeez, this is hard. This is super hard. Mutual favor coming down for a Bagalta, I reckon? Or maybe just a paperclip. Yeah, it's a paperclip. And they're installing it clicklessly. Man, mutual favor is good. 19 credits. Okay, that's 2 rogue tradings through. Don't worry, we're going to Rashida here. It's going to be so good. Rashida? Gain 3, draw 3.
Yep.
Some money we need. Some money we crave. So this says icebreakers. Oh, this means they can't use Nexus.
Yeah.
The problem is we're going to get doofed. Yeah, because it's only non-icebreaker cards to break subroutines. Oh, to break subroutines. It doesn't break subroutines. Oh, it's not like Navi. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, they can use net. There, bro. You're right. Right. I thought it was just they can't use non-icebreaker cards to paid abilities. Oh, that's a huge bummer. They also know that we didn't draw any ice unless we refuse to use it. Ah, bud.
Oh man. Okay, so
not feeling good about this one. 21 cards left. We've scored 2 points. We probably have to jam the NGO, throw out the Rashida, throw out the tier.
To the NG exposing it?
Sorry?
I was saying, yeah.
Oh, Nexus is even a paid ability window? Oh, you're right. Pay that. We care about those. Advance. I'm going to res this because they know what it is, and we'll throw out some stuff here. Well. So we're going to throw out the tier, which seems really unplayable. The Nexus is honestly kind of good because they can't boomerang, and then the Amakua math might be a bit goofed. I think we actually throw out the Fairchild 3 because it's really bad against Mina. But obviously, they're going to run HQ here. Send in the orbital? Sky Laser. Nice. Bravado. This is a good run. I think they want down like a Docklands Pass. They only have 1 card in hand. They're not drawing a lot. I guess they do get a draw here. Pay 4, we lose 1. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Oh, I forgot to res this. That's fine. They can't doof us if we don't res it. Maybe that's correct. Next to make the Mina pay 2 more for each ice, which is meaningful? Not really. They're going to be on a lot of money after this. They're going to get their Bravado. They're going to get rogue trading. I don't think it actually matters.
Is our probably the first time or just once per turn?
First.
Okay.
They're going to sweep the hand? Yeah, they might see 2 here. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, looks like they're not. They stole the office.
Okay.
Gain 8, they're at 24. Ooh, they're not even rogue trading. They don't need to. We still haven't got doofed yet. Like, that's the problem. It's like, we're just kind of, the axe is like, hanging over our head. The sword, excuse me. They're in 28. They have 1 credit. They have 2 breakers. They can deal with this remote. Can they deal with this remote twice and have Managarm? I would say almost definitely yes, right?
Yeah, very likely. Got so much money.
I still think we have to push
But
for it. Otherwise, we're just going to lose
yeah,
slowly.
well, yeah, for sure, because at least it'll tax them a little bit.
So do we do hedge fund or do we do next? I think we do hedge fund.
Yeah, well, we haven't seen anything that next would really.
No, they might have a boomerang, but I'm worried that they're just going to diversion us. So I want the money more than anything.
Yeah.
Like now diversion doesn't shut us off of a border control. And maybe the best thing we got for us is eventually Ikoa into Managarm, which might be hard for them to interact with, but they have 34 credits and they're running this first click. Like, yeah, I think we might just concede. Yeah, next, still a big tax? It isn't. It's 2 more credits for this. It's 2 credits for this. It's 1 credit for this. And it's like 2 more credits for this. It's not a big tax. At least we've rezzed everything. And they still have a Nexus. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, they're going to Nexus one of the ice eventually anyways. So why play Anoetic Void? Yeah, I know. I think you're right. But even that, we're going to struggle to afford. We lose a credit on this one, mind you. Yeah, this just seems too fair. Like, this is, again, nothing unfair, but it's just ice and, agendas. They have to run it twice? I don't even think we pop it. I don't think we pop it. If we don't have this border control, we're not going to score next turn. Like, we give them the Cyber Sandbox. The issue is they're going to clear out the server. But yeah, we can't. If we pop the border control here, we're never going to have a scoring remote.
Well, okay. Well, the thing about this, they've used 2 once per turn abilities, right? The Amina credit loss and the Nexus,
yeah, but they have 26 credits.
I know.
They even double click. Like, they didn't even spend 5. Is data till still legal? No, it's not. It rotated. You should pop it because Managarm is going to go down if they get in. They're going to run back anyways. Managarm is going to go down anyways. Like, it's impossible for us to score behind Eli into Fairchild into Braun. Like, they break this for 2. Yeah. They break this for 5. This is it's like a 7 credit server.
Yeah, if they were running the kind of deck we expected, like the boomerangs, Batuas, then yeah, I think we would have a much better shot.
The only way to get them to not have credits to make them spend more credits? No, that's true. But like, they're going to be on, like, okay, if they'd run that again, they would have how much less? Like, we can't pop border control. They can't pop we have to pop border control before they Managarm. So they would have 2 clicks left. So they could still rogue trading. And then they still break this for, like, again, 2 credits. They could break this for 1 if they really wanted to. This is 2 credits. Like, it's not a real tax. The best thing we could do is get like 5 ice on here and then eventually border control. But the problem is, like, by the time we do that, they'll win off a turning wheel. Like, we're on 3 credits. Like, we got nothing here. I think we concede. I think MCA would be a good conclude. Yeah, I think MCA would be quite good. But the problem with MCA is it just forces them to run centrals, and we're not good at that. I don't think we have a play here, Pat. Like, yeah, our play is hopefully they run out of money, which is not something I want to do at this hour.
No, I'm fine with conceding, actually.
Yeah. Do you mind if we concede? If we respectfully concede? Yeah, no, this is not going to work out. Hey, good game. And we haven't even seen a single doof yet. Like, once a doof comes in, we have nothing to do. Like, they doof us, we can't jam. So, like, what can get us out of here, right? Like, they respected Ikoa. Well, in theory, they didn't respect Ikoa, but if we had an Ikoa in the remote to seamless launch out, that was the only thing that they goofed. That because they didn't have another click, if we border controlled, we could have scored an Ikoa out there and we could have been on 5 points. No doof in that deck? That's unbelievable. Whoa. Do you got doof in there? Hey, we tried. I think I played against this exact person in this deck. It's very strong one setup. Yeah, no, this sort of archetype like is it's been around for quite a long time. I used to play Power Tap and it's like very, very good. Oh, wild. Yeah. Nico Maryland, I don't believe in it at all. Like Maryland's okay between turns, but like it just the problem we're having here is not money. Like I'm aware that we said Doof is bad, but like the problem is against this deck, like it's not money. If we had slightly more money, maybe we could go a bit faster, maybe, but I don't know. Oh yeah, that's my issue here. You can just farm counters at this point. Yeah, and so if they just have to run this whenever they want. They also probably still have falsified, so they know when to run as well. Nico's good to bait force runs. Yeah, sort of, but they still have 3 falsified or 2 falsified in their list, right? Like we can't bait too many runs against them. Thanks for the game, eh? I'm surprised. It looks like they don't have Boomerang, and it looks like they don't have a Doof, which is pretty wild. And those are the slots of things like Thunder Art Gallery, and like, man, Doof is so good. Yeah, just having good ice doesn't do it, man. We need an unfair upgrade. We need an Anoetic. Oh man, ganked, honestly, oh no, I wouldn't do anything. It's a bummer we didn't have sentries on the remote. Sentries would actually force out an awkward security nexus. FC2 sucks, serious bad. FC2 is okay. It's way better on central servers than the remote servers, but we played the hand we dealt. But the biggest weakness by a mile for FC2 and even FC3 is Amina. Like nobody breaks this for 2. This is the only card that breaks it for 2. Like Black Orchestra breaks this for generally 2 for 5 credits. That's good for 4 credit ice. Sometimes they pay for 3 no brain damage. That's okay. Again, Angolo breaks us. It's a nightmare. Unity is a nightmare. I think FC2 is not bad. I really don't think FC2 is bad, but we're also running into the issue where like we don't have upfront cash. So a lot of times like the thing that we have to do is res a 6 credit card, a 6 credit ice for our ability to be online, or even res an ice that have 2 credit left for something like a Braun. But oh man, that's not good. I'm glad we went down to 2 Ravana though. That's for sure. The Ravanas didn't look good.
Yeah.
Pat, what do you want to do?
I mean, I'm up for another one if you are.
Okay. Do we want to change the list, or do you want to just hope we have a better matchup?
I think just go for a better matchup in this case.
Okay.
I think we'll have better luck. Like, surely we will have better luck next time.
Surely, right? Surely.
What are the chances?
Surely, what are the chances? Okay, let's try. Corp. Voider sends in. Yeah, I think Void is like probably the easiest thing to put into this deck, but like, yeah, it could be anything. That's yeah, honestly, like Void sounds nice, right? Like you get quick servers with Jinja, you res them cheaply with AOT, and then you just have Void to like sit on. I think Void would be fine. The problem with Void is that we have to cut border controls, and that's probably okay, right? Like, that's probably fine. Another game and don't call me Shirley. So this is 6 influence. So no, let's change it. Let's change it. So 1 ganked, -2 border, Anoetic, 2. And then what's your favorite bioroid?
My favorite bioroid?
That's cheap. It has to be cheap.
Are we doing well, gee.
Maybe we just play sprint and say 16 ice is enough.
I think so. I think we've got so much card draw.
Planogram. Planogram is better because it's money if we need it.
Yeah, true.
Okay. Engram? Yeah, the problem is though, like you see in the matchups where the kind of matchups where Engram is good, is that they don't run often. Like Engram is good because it's a taxing ice for how expensive it is or how cheap it is, and that's only good if they're running. Oh, we're gonna get Apocalypse. So we have to watch out for that. Red RLC is 2 influence. False lead could be interesting. The problem with 1-pointers is like they're very expensive and they don't help us win. Hey, like think about it. We have to score still generally 4 agendas. And that's a very expensive agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah, Riddle was already in faction. Okay, opening hand. The Loki curse.
This isn't bad at all. I don't mind this. Yeah.
I like this. The problem is like we're really encouraged to double install. Maybe that's why we have red level clearance here, right? Like we really want to double install. Score 7 false leads. Because we want to get 2 bioroids on the table, but obviously Rashida early is really good. So do we want to do Loki Fairchild Hedge Fund wait?
Yes. And I think against Apocalypse, Loki is actually pretty decent.
Yeah, the issue is Omar, though. Like, you have to ice up archives eventually. If it's on HQ, they just do like Omar, but it's not going to happen immediately.
Yeah.
This means that we have something in hand, so they might run HQ. Totally, falsely totally helps you to win if you're playing the Void game. You can have credits. Sort of. But again, like we have to spend the amount of money we could have spent scoring a 3-2 or generally a 4-2, and it only gives us some of the points. Like at that point, you'd rather run border control, you'd rather run Managarm, you'd rather run there's so many other cards that give you that same ability. Even like Voter Machine Initiative might even be superior. I'm just getting this on the table because they struggle with that.
Yeah, install Rashida and we're fine.
Yeah. Think of it like Jemison, you sack at 1 point to help you score 2 or 3-pointer. Yeah, but that's not great. Uh-oh, there you go, it's early. So we have to watch out for Apocalypse immediately.
Yep.
The thing with Jemison is they sack agendas to get better agendas. And they fast advance them. Like we're still playing Netrunner. Oh, they trashed the Spin Doctor from HQ. They missed this one. They have 12 credits. And we really need to get ice on archives stat. And luckily that's the thing, is they might not run. Casts, it's good. They didn't check the remote. Okay, that's technically ice.
It'll tax them on archives, I guess.
Install advance. I think that's right? Like we install advanced NGO. It looks like an agenda. Gives us the bit of money we need. And they generally don't want to face check into our ice. If they hit the Fairchild 3, it's really good.
Yeah. And then they show us they have Botulus and then we play next activation.
Yeah. And also they can't click through the FC3 once it's rezzed. So next turn we're set up to do... Oh, I forgot that we have a seamless. We actually could have considered doing like Fairchild this, install this, into next. That honestly was pretty compelling. That might be better than this play. Because with seamless we actually can play, we could do install, and then next. But yeah, they might be scared to run it for a bit. Hippo again is like the strongest thing they got. And Fairchild is really good against Hippo as well. It's worth noting. They can't click through it.
True.
Advance, install next.
Yeah, let's do it.
Man, next is so goofy. So now they're definitely not running because they can't click through anything. They can't botch us. They can't boomerang.
The weird thing is we would never know if this was valuable or not.
No, no, we would never know. We would never know. Man, we're at 19 credits. It feels good. And the brain damage subroutine is honestly kind of interesting because if they're on an APOC, it's kind of it threatens the apocalypse to some extent. Thinking that's what next activation command does for sure. They also have no breakers so far, so again they haven't binned anything. If this is the Wildcat list, which it looks like right now, it could be easily, which is a pretty standard list. They'd be on 2 of each breaker and 3 Botulus if I'm not mistaken. Draw. All right. Again, this does disincentivize running pretty heavily. And this is a nice thing to jam behind an FC3 as well.
Too quick.
All these APOC lists are running cards that can't deal with next turn. Exactly. I think with AOT, you have to lean into the click loss effects and make it work. Since you have all bioroids, falsely BC void, load testing, maybe the trick is to go. But the thing is, like, how often are people clicking through bioroids? Not very often, because it actually is one of the lists where clicking through bioroids is the least good, because it there's often too many of them stacked. Like I think it's kind of a trap. Like that feels like Satyr ability, right? Like you think you want to do it as much as like we'd rather just get 2 bioroids in a row. Have some spiky non-bioroids? Yeah, I know. But that's actually a real thing about Architects of Tomorrow, is like it really incentivizes you to have non-bioroids because it's really hard to score. What is this? This is a Loki. Oh man, it has exactly 1 subroutine.
Oh no.
Oh, the rip here is gonna be so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still res it though.
I think we res it because we get value.
Yeah, so either of these that they hit, we're gonna be pretty upset about it. And this is bad with no cards in hand. Like this is not a good card with Jinja. I forgot about that. Oh man, it's like the bioroid to res. Okay.
Yeah, save tier for a surprise.
Anoetic. I wonder if they trash that. They probably do. We have 1 card in hand. The thing is, like, tier's never gonna matter, right? Because if they're Omar, they're gonna always run through Loki. Now Loki is a bit better because Loki has 4 subroutines. But I do think we jammed the 3-pointer next turn. They just did 1 Botulus. And that looks so desperate. It loses to Imp. Look at us go. We're a fast HB list. Am I right? Look
Yeah,
at
this
this
is just what we
awesome.
tried. Just what we intended to do.
Oh no!
Oh,
No, this is okay.
wait, what ice was that again? Yeah, I think
It's
that's
FC3.
fine.
It
Oh,
still
yeah,
has some good subroutines here. The problem is like they can take the 6 credit loss. Like trashing this for 3 credits is honestly fair.
yeah.
I think I hit the button. Did I hit it? I don't want to hit this twice. Oh yeah, they did. So like you should trash this, right? Because clicking it for 4 or clicklessly getting 3, it's the same.
Yeah.
And they have bad pubs, so you lose another 3. So it's not that bad, honestly. And then they steal this, and they have a click and 2 cards left. They paid 3.
Oh, they paid 3 to protect something. Interesting.
Wait, there's another subroutine.
Well, no, they trashed one of the Batuas.
Oh wow, okay. We're now resing tier. Damn.
Yeah.
If this was an NGO, that'd be huge.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't trash this. Like, maybe they don't ever want to go through that. Draw. Server 1 hedge, I guess. They really need to add a pop-up for ST3 to indicate you successfully fired it. Yeah. Oh my lord.
What are the subroutines again? Let me take a look.
They're right here on screen, man. I'm gonna res it.
Yeah, I think we res it. Yes, they will click through it.
Yeah, and that's probably not that good for us because we only have 2 credits. How's the deck feeling loathing? Pretty bad. There's not a good reason to do this. Generally, we're struggling with economy. This is a huge hit.
I mean, we will just get clicks out of it. But
3 free clicks isn't great for you right now? No, it's not exactly, because we can't jam anything. If we had an agenda that we could score from hand, like 100%. They might end the run here. Okay, so now Archives is a problem if they're going to apocalypse us, because obviously they can't go through this. And now this is also good too, because it has, again, 4 meaningful subroutines, and we can choose to make it either a sentry or a code gate. So, you know, it's pretty good.
Okay, so we can triple credit hedge fund or draw triple credit hedge fund.
How many clicks do we have? Credit hedge? Yeah, I think we draw once. Oh, beans. Yeah, it's still pretty safe. And next time we can do install credit.
Yeah, they're not running it Wilkie anytime soon.
No, if anything, they'll Omar through Fairchild.
Yeah, true.
It looks like they're so heavily drawing for Botulus or APOC. I think APOC is their win strat here, and I'm scared of APOC. Astroscript. This is a Smurf. Whenever I see names like this that I don't recognize that are like, you know, old school Netrunner references,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure they're usually Smurfs. Especially when they play like the good stuff, you know? Runners with 1 card in play playing APOC? What would give it away? Yeah, right? And it's worth knowing the APOC in this Wildcat list if it is the list. Oh, they threw out a Stargate. That's weird. Yeah, it looks like the list is that it's a 1 in 50, so who knows? Oh, we could do install, but this does nothing without another card in hand.
I think we just have to install advance.
Do they have access to any breakers? No, I think we do install advance, but again, they can get through this for free, and then it just depends if the Fairchild 2 is good, and they can click through most rights. This is terrible. I'd Smurf under Monolith if we were Smurfing under old card names. There's some really good choices.
Yeah, I wonder what I would do.
I'll draw 3 here.
Motivation.
I think we put this in the remote, but I'm still worried about APOC pretty heavily. Actually, we should put Anoetic in the remote, right?
Yes.
Void Archives is like the worst because they see what they access. I think if anything, we would have Manic Armed Archives, but again, they have 24 credits. One of my favorite decks that was head off one inevitable conversation, did win at least 1 game, was an Isle Emergent Creativity Monolith deck. Hell yeah. Okay, so the question is the APOC. We need to figure out what to ice up. We always ice up Archives. So I think we do install. But they just still click through this, right? They click through this pay 5. Like our remote is so bad. Why did we ever put Fairchild 2 on a remote?
But we have next activation. They can't click through.
But they can Botulus.
No, not if we next activation.
Oh yeah, never mind, you're a genius.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's talk. Yes, but let's not just announce it to the chat. Come on.
The Corp cannot steal trash Corp cards for the remainder of this run, so it doesn't stop Apocalypse.
Mhm.
So we'll do archives next. Botulus. Second Ag archive seems meaningful since they have to run twice to APOC. Yeah. Our R&D and HQ look pretty good right here. And they're just
Yeah, for sure.
panicking into the APOC. Now the
Yep,
problem is like it's
absolutely.
only one Ikoa left in the list we have to score at, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And I don't think we can hold off the APOC long enough unless we put Anoetic on archives, which is the best place to put it. Because if we put it on
Does
R&D or H, sorry?
I was about to say, does DRM still see play in standard?
DRM, Digital
Or-
Rights Management?
Hmm.
It only sees play in decks that hinge off of a certain agenda. So like generally you only see it in Wayland because of CityWorks project in or outside of SSO.
True.
Now we don't have DRM. Because the idea mostly in standard is you jam whatever agenda you get because all your agendas are very good. But if you're playing specifically like a CityWorks Neurospike deck, that's the only agenda that matters. SSO needs the CityWorks early, CityWorks Punitive Dedication. All other agenda decks don't care what agenda they draw. They aren't hitting 0. Oh, you're right. They're not hitting 0. They must have the APOC. And it looks like they're just drawing into a Black Orchestra. Because they don't have one.
Oh, man.
Whoa.
Do we ice up the other two centrals now just to...
The problem is like
maybe
whichever one
archive
you double ice up, they just run the other one.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I think you just
go.
ice up archives. That goofs them up so bad. Like I think we just do this. Funny enough. Like funny enough.
Yeah.
And the problem is like also like we only have 2 next activation command, which is looking like the best card right now. But the best thing right now is they don't have a breaker. We could have scored behind an Enigma if we had one, but instead we have things you can click through. I've had worse. Yeah, they're not hitting 0. So they're just digging for the like 2 Black Orchestra in the deck. Yeah. During the Team Covenant thing, everyone in chat, I was watching, I was like so scared to see what the people would do when they did Wildcat Strike. I think 4 cards was chosen once. Oh shit, I think we have enough ice. Yeah, we might have enough. Let's see what they discard here. The thing is also if we APOC, like it's not the worst for us. Like obviously we spend a lot of money on this ice, but like we rebuild pretty quickly. They have an MK Ultra. Oh, Luminal is like good enough.
Yeah, that's interesting.
We've been seamlessing everything though, so they probably run into stuff. I think we trashed the Fairchild, right?
At this point, yeah, probably.
And then they don't get a trigger on Simulchip, which I forget if the list has or not. If they steal this, we're like pretty upset actually. I probably didn't consider how much money we had there. But we res this for 6, this for 2, this for free. It's wild with these 2 eyes. Like all you have to do is worry about archives now. Avian Archives is the pro play versus APOC. Seems ridiculous, but totally shuts it down. Yeah, no, it totally does. So here, the Brawn, they have to install their breaker. The problem is they have 36 credits. Yeah, this probably wasn't worth it.
Well, what's the upgrade again? Do we have Anoetic there, or is that Managarm?
No, it's Managarm.
Too bad.
We'll res it.
Yeah, res it.
Because they might click through the Fairchild too. No, they probably won't. They just pay 4 and take a brain damage. But they might not take the brain damage. So if they click through it, then they just pay 5 for Managarm. No, it's rough. That's again the huge issue with this deck is if all your ice is clickless through, it's actually really hard to score agendas. The border control is like the best thing in our deck.
And we took it out.
Or we took it out. They could jack out here. We should give them a window. And I don't think we Managarm, right? Because then we go to too few credits and we can't threaten this. I don't think costing them 5 credits is worth our 2. Let's see what they do here, though. This is also a nice res, because now we can make sure Loki has any kind of subtypes we want. That being said, the only thing they don't have access to is code gates. Click 2. And they deal the 2 brain damage, that's for sure. They can't let the brain damage fire. This ice is yeah, it's not great. They can't APOC anyways. No, this turn they can't. Fire. So they pay 2 credits. Great. So they did pay 5 for it, which is normally good in a deck that's running consistently. But again, they don't have to run consistently in this deck. Well, they trashed the 0. Yeah, they're really looking to APOC.
Yep.
So we need 3 credits next turn. So I guess we will res it. Whatever. You have to pay 5 and then another 3.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like my earpieces are gonna die soon. I'll fix it, hopefully. So they paid 5. They probably don't trash. Oh, they do trash that. I thought they were just going to APOC.
Okay.
The thing is, like, how do you score in this remote? You don't.
Ah, interesting.
You literally don't. Yeah, this is so hard. We're like in a good position, but we still can't win. Unless we draw Jinja and just turtle the hell up.
Oh yeah, we haven't even seen Jinja this game yet. Interesting.
No. So we need 3 for this and we need 2 for that. So we have to go up to 5 credits. So we're going to be short 1 credit. But we have cards for Animatic at least. And I'm going to forget. I'm going to res Ravana. They still don't have a decoder. Oh no. 10 cards in their stack. And we'll keep some extra ice in hand just to be able to rebuild. Okay, they have it. They have it. And now we are flooding up a wee bit. And the problem is, like, on the Apocalypse turn, we're going to have to throw out cards. Like, I think if anything, we need a Spin Doctor in the remote. So yeah. In 18 cards, we have 2 Spin Doctor.
2 more Spin Doctors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Watch them hit APOC with the 2 brain damage.
No,
they're not going to take any brain damage. And they're in game point. Like, we can't even jam aggressively. Like, this is such a rubbish deck. Off Ravana? No, they're going to break everything. Yeah, you see, they're on 30 credits. They think I can Apocalypse now. Oh, no. Heavens, no. We need a Spin Doctor.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Are you serious? Yo, bioroids is awful.
They're kind of safe in archives.
No, but they're definitely going to 100% run archives because of APOC.
Yeah, but we've got Anuenic. We can keep them out twice.
You're kind of right.
We can throw out the...
yeah. We'll, how about we... let's just constantly throw out.
Oh, man.
You're onto something here. This is the worst idea. Well, eventually we'll draw Spin Doctor. You're right. They're actually pretty safe in archives underneath the Nanoetic. Yo, Deadmouth, how's it going? Oh, it's the turn. So we res this as 3.
Yeah.
Thinking. The thing is, if they get 1 run in, we lose. So, like, this is obviously, like, really, really not good. If we res this, it's 3. We'll be down at 6 credits. So that we can Anoetic twice anyways, 4 credits. So, yeah, we can res everything.
That's 3 blocks.
This is a normal archives run. Yeah, no, it's a normal archives run. Not over. No, I know. It's because they want to run this first to see what this is before APOCing. Yeah. No, it's good to know, though, because if it was an Omar, they wouldn't access archives. Mind you. And you'd see it with Omar because his face would be there. Yeah, this list is, like, that's the huge issue with bioroids, right? Like, it gives options to the runner. And next activation has been working out really well for us. Oh, they clicked.
Huh.
Wow. I think they did the math. Pretty good, man, trying to learn the new meta. Oh, it's not this meta. Don't worry. Fair job 3, still pretty big.
Okay, there's a chance.
They can't click through it. They have to install, and it's like 9 to break because of the really awkward breaking. There's a chance. I can't believe we're Anoetic voiding archives and just using it as like a super secure server. 9 credits, there you go. It's another 5 for this. You know they're going to clear the Anoetic in order to APOC you shortly. Yeah, they know they have to. I see what you mean, yeah. They 100% have to. Well, we stacked the code gates pretty good. Gordian Blade be damned. Reina and AOA look back. Sorry? You need another 18 credits to run archives. Yeah, it's good. Watch looks strong. Botchless is very strong. You're very correct about that.
Funny. Because it doesn't matter for that server. It's the most important server, right?
So we're trashing the ice, right?
I think we trash the ice, because at least the 2 agendas can be...
Yeah. Oh, and Anime of Anarchy. Hell yeah. I guess 12 if they trash their breakers. Yeah, okay. So that cost them a bit. Spend 1 to draw a card. Oh, wow. Rashid in the remote. So we have to draw once. We do Rashid in the moat and then take a credit. Oh, no. We might have goofed that up. We maybe wanted 4 credits. This might be incorrect. Just add shop to the end of anything. Modus, I see you know how to make Netrunner decks. Figured it out. They might give up on APOC and just camp the remote, honestly, which they should be doing here. Like this could, in theory, could be double seamless. Oh, they're trying to take down Ravana. This could be double seamless. Like we could win here if we had enough seamlesses in hand. Oh wait, no, there's 2 seamless in archives. Never mind. Yo, imagine having a Jinja. Imagine having a Jinja. Oh, we found
Now
2
we
of
don't
them.
have to
We found 2 of
imagine.
them. We found 2 of them. These are the
Okay,
weirdest games.
so-
Yeah, this is rubbish. 2 spin doctors in bottom 10. We need to figure out a way to score out. They have only 14 credits. We honestly could have something here.
I think we put Eli's over the remote and the archives.
But we can't afford putting it on archives. That's the problem.
Yes, we can.
No.
We put it on archives and then we let them pass it the first time.
No, but like the install cost is just going to be prohibitive.
Oh, I mean, it does cost.
Oh, but I see what you mean, right? Like it's nice to have it there. The thing is, like, if we install it, it costs us like what, 3 credits. Like we need money for Managarm, let alone we need to figure out how to score in the remote. Like I think we do Managarm Jinja in the remote, click for credit. Like Anoetic Void on our archives is just, I think, makes it so bad.
Yeah.
Chunkworks Agenda Advance? Yeah, but then we lose. And then we can't score it either. Why can't they run HQ? It's bound to Loki. They just don't want to. Because they're tunneling. They're like really tunneling, I think, a bit too hard on the Apocalypse plan. The issue is if they trash our Managarm here, like that's our last defensive upgrade, I think. Did we lose an Anoetic already? Yeah, we did. Oh man. Spin Doctor is looking really good right now.
Oh boy.
Yeah, like this gets really taxing, right? Like 3 strength, 4 subroutines. And we can make it a barrier. I don't think that's the most expensive. I think MK Ultra Sentry would be the most expensive. No, it's not that bad. It's happening. Okay, target for Loki. Thinking.
Okay, yeah. So Paperclip costs 4 to install.
Yeah, and then will cost 4 to break no matter what we do. Right? Because it'll have at most 4 subs. So that's 8 credits. 7 with Bad Pub. If we do Code Gate, it'll be 3 strength, 4 subs. So then they just break
And
for 6.
Yeah.
That's worse. MK Ultra install for 2, and then they spend 6, so that's 8. I think we do barrier subroutines, right?
Yep.
Or do we just do tier? No, you do tier. Because they don't need MK Ultra for the remote. I think we just do tier. Because these are good subroutines. Oh, they're going to trash it. Oh, we're fucked. I forgot they have Hippo.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we are in a really bad spot now.
Yes, we are, but that's okay.
If they whiff.
Not to panic right now.
If they whiff,
Yeah.
we might have a window because this is kind of expensive. But no, it's
Yes.
very likely we lose here. It's 40%. And then they run like multiple times, so even more than that.
Yeah. For sure.
They do have to break all the subroutines though, so it didn't really matter what we chose. But yeah, I totally forgot that Hippo is like a real threat here. Oh, they're typing.
Are they typing?
Can they even install MK? Yeah. Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe they can't. I'm not actually sure.
Oh my god, you're right.
I don't think so. Let me check.
That's really interesting. Yeah.
He can install. Okay. They can install Loki, Netrunner, DB. Yeah, oh, they made a goof that. Why doesn't it say here? What's the window? I don't think there's a window. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a window. Why not? Why? What's the logic here? When the runner encounters Loki, choose another piece of ice, and this is on encounter, right? Whenever you encounter, whenever the runner encounters, I don't know. Can you install bin breakers when encountering Loki? I don't need to word the right Netrunner. Active player on encounter first.
Yeah, and I think since they're active player, it has no subroutines when they encounter it.
Just have to do your triggers first. So runners turn their own encounter triggers first, then yours do. Yeah, so the idea is that if there's two things with the same timing window, the active player has to do theirs first. So the idea is that they encounter, and then when they encounter first, it's not typed. Google knows all. It usually does. Yeah. Yeah, it's mythic when they encounter it. It's not a sentry when they encounter. Yeah, right? Good thing we didn't choose Codegate.
Yeah, really.
Loki is the mythic? Oh, well, yeah, you're right. It's technically not mythic. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. When two things have the same window, the active player has to do all of theirs first. And you're the active player, right? Is it type layer or bioroid? It's bioroid. Yeah. It's really hard to like do things like this. Like I always worry that I sound rude in chat. I get to choose the order. No. The order of your abilities, but still I will go after all of yours.
Maybe you can share the Reddit post.
Yeah, but the Reddit post isn't law.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I had like a ruling somewhere in FAQ. Just let them do. Yeah, I'm totally down if you want to undo. Yeah, I'm totally down for them to undo the run. Nobody knew that. I didn't know that, obviously. Because that's a pretty brutal run. Just run to this again. That would trigger. Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, me too. I didn't Of course. Yeah, just undo the click. That's cool. Yeah, okay, cool. Sick. So now they have to like find a sentry to install their killer. So they can in theory run into tier to get their sentry installed, but then they still have to deal with a tier. So our Loki's actually technically holding on here.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Loki and tier. Best buds.
Well, any sentry would have been pretty good. Like on cell would have been okay there as well.
Yeah.
I wonder, I think we actually now just install in front of HQ, unless we want to do install advanced events in the remote. What do we put in this remote? Oh, Jinja? Fuck. Forget it. They're just drawing again.
Oh my god. What are they, like a third Botulus?
Yeah, I don't know. Botulus gets through one in the run here. Again, Paperclip is 4 + 5. That's 9. This is generally, you can let this fire. Oh no, you have to break 1. So 9, click. I'm jamming.
I was about to say, res.
No, I don't think we can afford it.
Okay.
You're right though. Actually, maybe we should have. No, I think you're right. I think we just jam, right? And hope they goof up the interaction between Managarm and Ikoa.
Yep. Nothing like counting on the runner messing up.
Yeah, like we've never done that, right?
Yeah.
You know how every once in a while, like every 3 or 4 months, you think like I'm gonna build a cool Builder of Nations deck, and then you do, and then you regret it. I feel like that's Architects of Tomorrow modernly. So we can res the Managarm and still have Iqua Project Money. The problem is we can't. Oh, we could Anoetic Void as well. I don't know if we can Anoetic Void and Managarm. That's the threat. Because we need 3 to score this, 2 to res this. There's a chance that they have the numbers here. If they have an overclock, which the deck doesn't, I know that for sure. That's a thing. But it's like 9 to get through this. So they're already on, 5 credits. Then this is generally around 5 credits. Arithmetic tomorrow. And then they need 5 or 2 clicks for here. So yeah, it seems like it's going to be hard.
Yeah, and they've got the bad pub for during 2 runs.
Oh shit, you have bad pub. I think they actually can perfectly get through this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. They might struggle with Iqua. Because I think they have to double click through this and then click through this. So maybe not. Stim hacking going.
That's true, yeah, the Iqua might be the savior here.
To be fair, the remote looks like Void Managarm. That's a good point, Solomon. I don't play enough with how things look. That's a huge part of Netrunner. It's a really, really important skill. Slim hack. I haven't heard anyone call it slim hack. That's amazing.
Slim hack is very good. I like that a lot.
Slim hack is super good. Oh man, you know the last turn where they go into the tank and that's the one-handed tournament you're the most nervous of because it's obviously the most important turn of the whole game. Let's see if they can do it.
Okay, they're trying it.
Let's see if they can do it. Seen on GLC for overclock. Sick. Does that actually work? Can you search on it? No, but they can steal that with Skunkworks, Anoetic, and Iqua? I don't know. There's a chance. There's a small chance. It's going to come down to like 1 click, 1 credit either way. And we obviously didn't arithmetic it out enough. Okay, so they got through that. Okay. So now they're here. The problem is like they could let this fire and then give up on their dreams, right? Like if they let this fire, I think it changes the math. Because if they give up on their apocalypse plans, we're counting on them. Yeah, okay, that's how we lose. Yeah, they have exactly enough. Because they're gonna trash their breakers. Oh, they have gonna exactly enough. Because they're just trashing their board. Oh no.
Yeah. And they're playing around the Ikawa.
Yeah, no, they're doing this properly.
We should never count on them doing it properly.
Yeah, good game. No, they nailed it. Yeah, we had to hope for them to goof it up.
Good for them.
This is an NGO front. And it goes well? Nope.
No such luck.
Good game. Yeah, they're hoping it's Anoetic. If it was Anoetic, they were in a bad spot because we can force them to do the Managarm before the Anoetic. And then we'd actually would win. So we need another Anoetic. But again, they actually should know that that wasn't Anoetic because we have 1 in archives, 1 here. That's 8 influence. They can count 9, 10. So they should have known. Good game. Exactly enough clicks. And they were 1 credit short, so they need exactly enough clicks. Oh, that was a close one. That wasn't actually close. That APOC was rough, eh? Oh, I think I lost you on headphones. Yeah, 1 sec, Pat. Could just that run in. I think they could have mathed it out. I'm going for the nuclear option. Yeah, I think so. Sorry, Pat, I need chat can still hear you. I can't. Let me just fix that option. Hey, what's up? I can hear you now.
Okay.
There were, what, 5 points?
More than that, I think.
Let's check. 69 credits. Yeah, we're not making a lot of money.
Only 4. I guess we didn't trash an extra.
Yeah, because we needed the Elasticala to have a chance of winning. For future reference, the Pedantic version of how the Loki imp thing works, they run Loki, then counter it. A reaction window 9.2.8 opens. They're an active player, so they go first. Exactly. But they cannot install MK Ultra here because it's not a sentry. Then you go. Yeah, that's exactly, I think, what we tried to explain. Oh, yeah. With only 12 inf, I think you know that server 1 isn't Anoetic, right? Yeah, they should have known, right? Because there's 4-8 on the table, 9-10, so it already can't be. And it's like, what, 2 more spin doctors, that's all the influence. Just matter how much better they off if they just click 0 the whole game. Oh yeah, I know. If they just gave up and they click 0, but this setup actually right at the point that they're ready to go. The biggest issue is they didn't have an orchestra. They just couldn't get an orchestra down. And I honestly think that they probably should have just hippoed and clicked through the tier 1 turn and ate it. I think they could have just ate it 1 turn, especially when we have low credits. Like, we can't score out if we're on like 3 credits at some point. And we were on 3 credits at some point. Even though that was an L, that was a lot of strategic Netrunner. Yeah, okay, it was. Clicks do. No, you math, they're good. For sure. I like that battle list. All right, so architects, Pat, what have we learned today?
We learned that HP has to go fast if it wants to win. We shouldn't try to go. We shouldn't try to go slow.
Yeah, choose.
We learned architects will almost never fight.
It's like fascinating because we got the perfect gamut of like what you expect from architects at tomorrow games. In the first matchup, we had someone who was just unable or unwilling to run, and at that point, your ability doesn't fire, but then it's a deterrent. In the second game, we had someone who is equipped to run, and then our ability just bankrupts us, and it's still not good enough because it's hard to win Netrunner when your thing is just, I got ice, that's okay. Especially ice, and like that's a problem with like bioroids. Bioroids look on paper really good when you stack them because they can click through one but then have to break the other, but that's exactly the problem. In a lot of situations they just have to deal with the ones that are the least worst for them, and they always have a built-in panic button, which is why a lot of the times bioroids look the best on central servers where they're really taxing, and it's not so much that like, oh, if I need to get through this because I know I need to get through this, I can get through this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right, because you never know, well, you rarely know for sure if the game is going to be won or not.
Yeah, exactly.
But you often know for sure if the game's in the set in remote.
Yeah, Solm says architects needs non-bioroid ice, and I think that's true. I think the thing that would make me more excited to play architects out of anything is if we had more meaningful non-ice bioroids, right? Like resing upgrades. Resing Ash was sick, right? Like when you got the free Ash out of nowhere, like that was so good. And none of the other bioroids, like bioroid work crew, you'd have to build a totally different deck. Like you want to build a fast advanced deck. Same for Bast Chiraboga. And there's a chance like building a faster horizontal architects to get like cheap reses on centrals and then cheap basses and cheap CityWorks, whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called. The CityWorks crew? What are they called? Street cleaners or something?
You know what I'm talking about? True. I forgot that Bast Chiraboga was a bioroid, so
yeah, it was being suggested we were building fairly often because bioroid work crew is a bioroid, and it's also like a pretty good job with biotic. You can always res Adam too. Yeah, the style also forces runs better. Yeah, it does force runs better, but for what it's worth, like forcing runs doesn't change a lot of the matchups, right? Like forcing runs just makes us poor, and they still deal with our ice. I don't know, because okay, forcing runs only matters to get your ice up quicker. You know what I mean? Like if they still just run once and then run again the turn, it doesn't really matter. And that's one of the best things you can do against architects, kind of like CTM. When CTM, because their ability fires only first time a turn, is you want to run multiple times a turn. So, and we didn't see this a lot in a lot of the games. It's like what you want to do a lot of times is like run, see where they get the free cheap res, and then just run the other servers, right? Like if I res an ice on R&D, it probably means that one on HQ is something I didn't want to res or is too expensive or cheap. And then you just run that. And then we're really disincentivized to res. Tollbooth versus Nexus is an embarrassment though. Yeah, the best you can do against Nexus classically is a Nancy because they actually get zapped. They have to break it. Do you have a Friday off, Andre and Pat? No. We're actually pretty late. Oh my god, it's 12:30.
I have Friday off.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Pat, thanks for joining me. Sorry that we made such a bumbling mess of ourselves.
Oh, that's all right. I think that's the public persona that I have cultivated over years.
You're too hard on yourself, Pat. You're a man of culture.
That's true.
And literature.
Okay.
And you're very good at aerobics, right? Or is it gymnastics?
Yes, actually, it was jazzercise and Zumba. I actually lead a Zumba class on Fridays, which is my other way my day off.
Everybody get in on that Zoom call. I'm really interested to know if anybody watched through all of this that came from the Team Covenant stream. That's something I'm really interested to know. If you saw TC's stream and decided to check into some Netrunner content, let alone get into Netrunner, let us know. Again, it's super interesting to know how people are getting to this game because that's a really important thing to understand because it's hard. It's hard to get into this game, but it's obviously very great if you made it here.
Certainly worth it.
I'm going to have an NBN video, hopefully up on Monday or Tuesday. I think I have time this weekend to get another one out. Otherwise, thanks so much, Pat, for joining me. Hope you had a good time.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure. Thanks to everyone hanging out in chat, everyone watching the VOD, everyone we played games with, good games, and we'll be back maybe in 4 days, at least next week. Ciao.
All right, bye everybody.